I know.
Like really in time.
Every time, right?
I kept getting like the same time.
I got the time when these two.
I kept getting the same
The
card.
last two. Yeah, the last two in a row are both.
I had the same card 3 rounds in a row.
I had same card 2 rounds in a row. It was weird.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you guys can go up to 10 people. You go up to 10 people with 4 spies.
That would be wild.
So doesn't he have to remove the one video from the playlist?
Hit refresh. See if that does. Because I think it's been doing it without him. Yeah, we've already got 1 viewer. So I don't know if that's
might be the
us
issue.
or- No, he's got to refresh now.
Refresh you.
They're playing.
Gotta
Yeah, there we go.
refresh.
So we're good. All right, and then we will see if we can put in.
I think I was trying to figure out like a cooler narrative.
All right, let's get Paul a chair on the panel.
So that's why I was like,
No,
you
you can just
cast
take one of them.
suspicion on myself.
It's basically playing blind man's bluff.
I didn't.
Or
think-
no, this is off camera.
Oh, okay.
It just got brought over because we needed another person to table.
So what are we doing first?
We're just giving Paul some hot sauce because he's like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, Paul did say hats off.
All right, so we have a new guest here, Paul Hinnick, host of the Dirk Gently Holistic Podcast thing.
Yeah, don't forget about that guy.
Co-host.
Nick,
Thank you.
well, he is a host.
Yeah, but you said host. You didn't say host.
You said the. Which I do.
The only host
also-
that's not a spy.
How about this? Also the host of the Gotham Podcast, which I am also on, but I don't need to be like.
I've already got the title out for what do I need host for?
That's right. He has come in and agreed. Yep.
I lost my spot.
Really? So Paul is going
Do you want more?
No. Hold on. That was gutsy right there. Did you read the bottle?
No, he just wants to have it.
Oh, what is happening here? What is happening here?
Yeah. Paul just came in,
And he's going to have
and
a
he's
little bit
going
of
to
the...
take. And he looked at the amount that was on the spigot, and he was like, "That's all."
I need to see this.
He went at it too. He went at it,
Full
folks.
mouth on that.
Boom! There it goes. Yeah.
Not that bad.
Yeah.
Kind of clearing the science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait till you swallow the saliva. Yeah, that's the good stuff. Yeah. Now, yeah, there it is. Yes, there it is. Just for the record,
Benadryl sucks.
Oh,
damn.
that's gonna make it worse.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it moves it around. It doesn't wash it off.
Yeah.
Moves it around.
So does a terrible thing.
Although props to Paul because he is taking it like a champ.
Didn't look at the
You didn't
bottle.
give me props for taking it like a champ.
No, because somebody donated to make you do it.
No, sure, I'll fuck myself up.
He's like, yeah,
Ignorance is bliss, sure.
I did that once the first time I tried wasabi. Big
Glob
glop
of
on
it?
my finger. I didn't know what it was.
Oh yeah. Woo! So what do you think? About 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay.
So he literally walked in and put it down. Everybody in this room except for you has done it.
Stop trying to call the guy with the medical condition.
You're saying
Even I
that.
have no started.
Guy.
I did forget. I'm sorry.
What's your forget? It's the same thing he says every time you bring it up.
Seriously, you should try it. No, I'm just kidding.
I have acid reflux, and my grandmother died of
I do too.
esophageal cancer.
I do too
Piece of
now.
shit.
Ooh, you piece of shit.
All right.
Wow, where'd it go, Grandma?
That's the second time you pulled up a dead family member.
I got a lot of them.
Or maybe you should stop throwing his dead family members under the bus.
Or the
He's
Wonder
throwing
Bread.
them.
Or the Wonder
Wait,
Bread.
hey, that's not the
Oh, the Wonder Bread truck.
True story.
All right. So we are going to be discussing
This is
Marvel.
more irritating. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's how I feel.
It's not bad. It's like Sincerely? Yeah, no.
Fireball. Ian is playing Dead or Alive.
Oh yeah.
There. What? Take it.
So far, the donuts have helped people wash it down.
Okay. That's helpful. Yeah, that's just the annoying part is that it just doesn't go away.
Yeah, it just keeps gives you a little annoyance in the back of your mouth. Yeah.
Anyway, so I think right now the Warner Brothers and DC panel is going on at Comic-Con.
Right now.
Yeah, right now.
Okay.
So that's our
That's where they're going to announce that some other bad things happening in there.
How do you feel about the possibility that we might lose Affleck?
Affleck as an actor or as a writer-director?
Well, they're
Well,
saying
you've already
he's
lost
writer.
Yeah.
So he's going to quit?
No,
That's the rumor. I'm just
He's not
bringing
going
it
to
up.
quit. It's, they're talking about the idea of going forward and making.
the Batman or whatever.
Well, they want to make a few movies, and they're kind of pigeonholing themselves by going with older Batman. So they want to go younger, so they can do.
Well, he's not even that old. They
No,
made
he's not.
plate.
But
It was their fucking idea in the
They've
first place.
already done something that- Oh, sorry. I
No,
thought-
that's fine.
That's fine. But no, the point is, we can figure this in Marvel in a second. Have a second here. On a young
You're a
Batman.
spy.
They've already done that. But now they're seeing Spider-Man Homecoming doing well. And they're, ooh, young character.
I don't think that's it. I think they realized from the very beginning the mistake they made by going oldest point in the Batman timeline.
I like that choice.
That's not true. His back hasn't been broken, and he hasn't.
No,
Yeah.
oh no, oldest is in the comics.
Shut your face, man.
I mean, they were essentially trying to do Dark Knight Returns sort
No,
of.
I don't.
They did, but they just didn't have the point where he was actually retired.
Right.
But I like the choice of an old Batman. I
I'm
think
fine
that's
with it.
better.
But you should
because
have.
it's new.
And if they want to go backwards in time, I don't know. They did that with Wonder Woman.
I don't have a problem with it either. It's just that they
They just
haven't.
take some of the gray streaks out of his hair, and he's young
No,
and
he's
Bruce.
majestic. You don't
Or they
do that.
just cast a second Batman
I
like
mean,
they're doing with the Flash.
This is a Marvel chat.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Yeah, this is the Marvel chat apparently.
No, we'll do DC first, and then we'll go Marvel.
Okay.
So we'll do DC for this hour. So I hate that idea. And why do you have to bring that terrible news here?
Because it's news.
Is it official?
No, it's like a Hollywood Reporter.
I-
It's like a heavily implied rumor.
Of all the things
I
that
read
they
it
can
in
do,
2 different places.
I am going to be so pissed.
of the very few things I'm happy of what they've done, the Ben Affleck casting is one of the things I
Yes.
actually really like.
He's got a lot of shit going on,
Well,
right? He's
Yeah.
got a lot of personal stuff.
I mean, I understand him not wanting to be locked in for this.
Long run.
because he doesn't
Like,
like
Well,
his money.
they're not using a script.
Yes.
And
he's
they're
no
not
longer
using
But I
directing.
thought that was all his choice. Like he was
No.
having issues, and he's like, I can't.
It's
work.
like
they
that
were gonna
guy who
use
used to
the
be
script.
Kermit. It was his choice not to be Kermit anymore. No.
No,
I
they,
think
yeah, the director insisted I'm doing my own script because they wanted him to just come in and direct the Affleck Jeff Johns script, which I'm sorry, Jeff
How about
Jeff
you-
Johns has done a lot of wonderful things
No,
with
but
DC
he has.
Comics. Can we keep him away from the movies?
How about
please?
Ben Affleck is an Academy Award-winning director and screenwriter?
Oh, I
Right.
agree
Why
with you,
would
right.
you say,
And
hey,
the only
screw that shit?
and he
I
the
made
worst
a
thing
movie
he's
with a
done
bunch of
is
apes.
Live by Night, and that was still okay.
Live by
What
Night
else
was-
has he done?
Live by
that's
Night
It
bad?
took a hit. It took a hit. I didn't mind the movie, but it took a hit.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but I mean, he's done like
Okay, I guess anytime he
Yeah, that
tackles
was really
Dennis Lehane novels, people.
I wasn't Argo Best Picture. I liked Argo a lot.
I didn't think it was Best Picture, but I like.
It doesn't matter what you thought. He still
It
won
was still a
the
good.
award.
It was still a good
Well,
movie.
for producer.
Sure.
Someone high up the food chain at Warner Brothers is fucking things up because they're
Yeah.
shoving
Which
people
doesn't
away.
make sense
Okay.
because they gave it to Jeff Johns.
Let's play devil's advocate here. If Affleck's gone, who's Batman?
Oh God. Idris Elba.
No, he's already rolling to shame.
Jodie Whittaker.
I just say Idris Elba for everything.
That's usually a good choice.
That's my
That's a
default
safe
answer.
bet.
I'm Batman. Tell me that's not the best. It would be pretty damn cool. I don't know.
I don't know who you
When they said Affleck, it was like, oh God, that's perfect.
I'm gonna give you a weird
For
one.
me,
I'm gonna give you
not
a,
everybody.
I'm gonna
obviously
give you a
does.
weird one. Please, Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's
That's weird, and
It's
that's
weird.
way off.
I like it.
No, he's got to
that
be.
is in the Christian Bale vein, though,
No,
and
it's
that-
gotta be.
and that kind of an actor.
The problem is you're gonna have trouble finding somebody who hasn't already been snatched up by Marvel or Disney or. what the hell you're ever. probably gonna end up with somebody who's new,
Or yeah, an unknown.
an unknown. You're gonna
I'd
get
be
an
almost
unknown.
okay with an unknown at this point if he looked the part.
I mean,
If he looked
mind you, almost 30 years
Ben
ago,
Affleck was the part.
Yeah, he does.
almost
He does a great
almost
job.
30 years ago, people were like Michael Keaton. So
Well, yeah,
that's
he was-
because he was
he was a comedic
Beetlejuice.
actor.
Oh, they said the same
Tom
thing. Heath
Holland.
Ledger.
Same. Look, I was one of those, and I couldn't have been more wrong about that.
I was
But I had a very limited. I had a very limited exposure to what Heath Ledger.
You see all the animated movies DC just announced at
One of
Comic-Con?
them's Superman, right? Death of Superman.
And so, yeah,
Harley Quinn.
they're doing Batman and Harley Quinn. They're doing the Death of Superman.
Didn't they do that? They did Death of Superman.
Live
Superman Doomsday. Oh, live action?
That's gonna be animated.
No, animated. They did Superman Doomsday.
Maybe he's gonna die a different way.
No,
Well, they're doing
this is
Batman
the
Gotham
Death
by
of Superman
Gaslight.
comic book.
Yeah, we knew that.
Oh, that's do that one.
Steve. Yeah, then they're doing
Jack the Ripper.
they're doing Suicide Squad Hell to Pay. Hey, you know what? You could be awesome.
All right.
And then they're doing a two-parter of Death of Superman, so they're probably going to do the Death of Superman one. And then Return of
Maybe
Batman.
we'll get like the Cyborg and the Eradicator.
You definitely love to do that story.
Yeah,
John Henry.
2007 they did Superman Doomsday.
With Adam Baldwin as Superman.
Right, and that one was like.
Yeah, the follow-up to the
Yeah.
Death of Superman is going to be the Reign of Superman.
Superman or Supermen?
Superman.
Yeah, there we go. The Cyborg,
Yeah,
the Eradicator.
You'll get all four.
I know that was
I think
horrible.
so.
What was the? They haven't done a Superman movie in a while. They did the Superman versus the Elite, which kind of sucked. And the one before that, or was it the one Apocalypse or whatever?
Cyborg, Superboy, Eradicator, and Steel.
I have a question, guys.
You could use that to.
What? Hold on. What are you?
What's that?
I'm saying I have a question, right? This is kind of almost like a philosophical question, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of DC specifically, everyone I've spoken to,
I'm waiting for the. What
Seems
the
to
fuck
think-
are they doing?
well, yeah, basically, because everyone I've spoken to and everything that I've seen thus far has shown that the folks that are doing the animated stuff in the DC universe get it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the people who are doing the live action stuff don't. So who's not talking to who and why?
I think they are desperately trying not to be Marvel.
Yeah, and but
What
like
they
they can't do
don't
the same thing.
realize
Trying
is
too
that
hard,
that's
basically.
the formula.
Well, and look at what movie was the best movie DC's made live action so far, which is Wonder Woman. It's the closest one to a Marvel movie.
It's like female Thor.
It was just
It's like a Thor, Captain America fusion.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to throw this out there, right?
Captain Thor.
Wait, what, Ian?
I'm going to throw this out there. I was listening to somebody discussing a very similar issue just earlier on this week, in fact.
You're a spy.
Yeah. I think, and I agree with what the point that these guys were making was, is that everything that they've done in terms of a live action movie has been a reaction to the previous generation of that franchise. So you get the Batman 66, and then you get the reaction to that Batman 89 being a complete woof. And then the next iteration of that is let's go dark. I was like, no, you're just doing opposite thing. It's opposite day all the time in the DCU.
Now they're trying to go darker, but with no substance.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a dark tint to the Zack Snyder stuff.
yeah.
I wish there wasn't. I mean, it would have been beautiful to have a very bright and colorful Justice League, but like Wonder Woman, there were dark elements, but it was very much a bright
But
film.
that's a different character we're talking about. Look at what they did to Superman, who's supposed to be the beacon.
Yes.
Well, Superman
His
is.
suit is literally
I
getting
am-
lighter every film.
Let's be
They
fair.
realize that.
Let's be fair. To be fair, I am not a fan of Superman just in general. He is too
Because you're a
perfect.
speciesist.
Because he's too perfect of a character.
He's a Boy Scout.
He's the Boy Scout. He's not troubled enough. He
Well, then they made him troubled, and we were all like, "Fuck, this sucks."
That's because it's already established as his golden boy.
Yeah, I don't like Dark Superman at all.
No.
It just
I didn't like
Wow,
Death. I did
racist.
not like Death of Superman. That whole in the '90s, I hated that storyline. Hated.
You don't even like
Hated
the dark suit when he comes back.
No,
No,
I didn't.
yeah.
With the long hair,
The long
luscious
flowing
locks.
locks.
No, I did not. I did not like that at all. And the long-haired Superman that we had for a couple of years after that, I did not like that at all.
I liked that. I liked the death story of like Doomsday. I really hate that they wasted Doomsday in Batman vs Superman. I mean, think if they had saved Doomsday for like Man of Steel 3 after we had a Justice League, then the rest of the Justice League could have participated.
with Idris
They
Elba
could-
as John Stewart.
Well, it's the same thing about utilizing Bane correctly.
Yes.
Oh,
they screwed Bane up.
They could have Tim Burton couldn't have done it, but Christopher Nolan could have done the end of Break His Back. Could have did Azrael the Bat.
Yeah.
And it would have.
If they left it as a two-parter, yeah, but otherwise he did Bane correctly because he was actually intelligent. He wasn't just a thug. He was actually a plan.
Sans the lieutenant.
I'm gonna throw a really controversial statement into this mix. I'm gonna say that Dean Cain was actually a pretty good Superman.
In retrospect, he probably did a really damn good job. Yeah.
Even now, I think even though it show's kind of cheesy. In
Well, it was the 90s. What do you expect?
I get it.
No, I'm not objecting. It's just that it's hard to do Superman correctly without him.
I kind of
sure,
I
but
kind
I
of like
enjoyed
him as Kara Zor-El's half shitty.
The guy on the series?
Yeah,
He's not bad.
I haven't seen that.
On Supergirl.
I
he's
mean
not
Dean
bad.
Cain.
Oh.
Dean Cain in Supergirl as her
I thought you meant
her adopted father. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Dean Cain could probably still put the suit on. Personally.
He probably could.
He's got to be what, late 40s?
But I don't think they'll give it to him
Probably.
because
He's
it was
still got the facial features.
Yeah,
but
it's
Maybe
the television.
early 50s, because I mean Terry Hatcher about the same age.
But it's from the television universe, so they won't use it.
No, yeah, that's
Well, is it really? Because we're all right.
We're talking about a company that almost gave us Nicolas Cage.
All right, let's talk
Real
about
close.
this. Let's talk about the
Dean Cain is 50.
Okay. The one
He's 50. Dean Cain.
50. Dean Cain.
50.
Wow.
Nicolas Cage is
900.
whatever.
Already dead. He's the crypt keeper at this point.
Coked out.
He plays the keeper.
But you mentioned the two separate universes. The one advantage that they had over Marvel is that they have ownership of all of their characters.
Yes.
Right.
The sad part is Marvel can afford to not have X-Men and Fantastic.
Yeah,
they
they'll just kill them.
No, because they have a
Trouble is-
vascular roster to pull from.
Well, they're also pulling in more obscure things, like Guardians of the Galaxy, which until the movie came out, most people had never even heard of it.
Right.
Agreed.
And the fact that they're able to do that is because they built a brand. They built a foundation where they could spread out. Whereas DC keeps trying to redefine themselves.
Nobody questions that I'm in the bag for DC, but even I know that Marvel has got them dominated. And it's so frustrating because it doesn't take much for DC to do what's right.
In terms of ownership of properties, it doesn't matter how many properties you own if you don't know what to do with them.
Right. Mm-hmm. And putting Zack Snyder in charge is probably not the move we want.
Well, we know for a fact that Zack's probably going to be out of the picture now for a while.
I mean, he's a guy who, I mean, basically his two previous comic book movies are basically made
300.
They are made for him.
Yeah.
Like they're done by comic legends who basically gave you the movie.
And he still missed Watchmen.
He did.
He missed
parts of it.
300 is exactly what it was, but
300 was great.
But that's 300 in the Frank Miller, not so much concerned with narrative.
Right.
Miller.
Whereas Watchmen, it missed that kind of overpowering, kind of heavy tone that Cold War situation.
Well, there's always
there's
a looming danger,
right?
And that we don't really get.
Yeah, Watchmen the film, which admittedly I saw before I read the book.
Really?
Yes, Watchmen the film did not. Yeah, Watchmen the film did not give me that impending doom.
I will say,
like the book did.
Director's cut was much improved.
It was very true.
Zack needs to stop doing director's cuts and just make the damn movie.
So now DC is.
I don't think that's going to make any difference.
I don't know if this is the right term for it. But basically, DC is starting to rent Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be able to hold on to him.
On the one hand, I'm okay with that because honestly, Marvel just threw him away.
Well,
on the other hand, I'm not his biggest fan.
He walked away. Like he said that he just didn't want to. I thought that this could have been just
It could have been DC maneuvering with money.
Well, I mean, with Joss Whedon walking away from Marvel,
That's what I mean.
He made it sound as though
DC could have been courting him for years. You don't know.
To be fair, Whedon's always been a bit of a rebel. And now he's a hit maker all of a sudden, and he still wants to buck his own trends. So it's.
But the thing is he walked because it seemed like he made it sound as though he didn't want to invest that kind of time. Not anymore into something like that. That wasn't something that he created.
Not a passion piece for him.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
or just didn't like being controlled by Marvel.
I mean, maybe that's
And
it.
he's
Maybe
not-
everything else
he's
is just
not the
lip
same-
Because I think there's a reason why, like, 9 out of 10 Marvel movies seem exactly the goddamn same. Is that they're made by the studio and not by the
Right.
actor.
They're trying that, and that's what's going to hurt them if they don't figure that
It's
shit
just
out.
bland, in my
Right.
opinion. At least most of them are. I'm not saying they're all shit. but a
We'll
lot
get
of them-
we'll get to that.
A lot of
But,
them feel flatlined.
But yeah, I think the thing with Whedon though is he's not style-wise he's not Quentin Tarantino, but he's got that kind of mindset of I want to do my thing.
He's got a great like subversive wit underneath
He really
everything.
does.
that,
It's so good.
I love pretty much almost everything he's ever done. Sans Dollhouse, but I watched it because of the Elijah Dushku.
Is that a Paul Hennig I see?
We've
It
got
is.
the other host of the Gotham podcast, Kara, the
makes
Oracle.
Oracle.
We're talking about DC Comics. It only makes sense that she's
Hell yeah.
involved.
Definitely.
So right now we're basically just complaining about the plight of the DC movie universe
Yeah.
and how
Yeah.
we just can't seem to get it right. And by we,
Yeah,
I mean,
I've got another thing to throw into this equation at this point. I'm a fairly recent convert to the whole comic book thing. I only really started reading comic books in the last maybe
Get ready to
3,
have your
4
heart
years.
broken.
Yeah, I know, right? But the thing that I mentioned just before Kari got on a little while back, I was talking about how they've tried to sort of turn the previous generation thing on its head. And one thing that I would say that I've read in the last kind of year or so that has really delighted me in terms of stuff is, I can pull it up back here, this fine series.
Astro City.
Yeah. Astro City
Never
is
heard of it.
wonderful. If you're talking about subversion, it is a beautifully subversive piece of work. Really, really cleverly written. And I tell you what, if I wanted to see anything done, I mean, if you want to do a TV series, here you go. Astro City would be phenomenal as a TV series if it was done properly. And I don't know if I trust anybody within the production kind of side of things at DC to actually be able to make that happen.
I don't know Astro City, but the cover you're showing me looked like it had the Thing and the Human Torch on it.
It is basically, you were talking about subversion. It is basically a complete subversion of the entire superhero genre. It's a Vertigo book.
Vertigo seems to do much better than DC in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, Preacher's killing it.
Yeah.
I mean, even his books, I love American Vampire.
Well,
That's-
Preacher.
So when you started reading that.
yeah.
Preacher.
So if any of you guys get a chance, and seriously, I mean, they're all out in trade paperback now. If you get any of the Astro City stuff, it's Kurt Busiek. He's the guy who kind of puts it all together, and Alex Ross does a lot of the cover art, so that's automatically a win.
Yeah, you can't go wrong there.
You can't go wrong with that. But they're just beautiful stories, and they're sort of self-contained. It's kind of anthology-style writing, so it would suit a TV series perfectly. It's spinning the whole superhero thing on its head. It's not taking itself too seriously. At the same time, it's covering kind of very deep ideas. I think this would be a shoo-in for a fantastic TV show. And if you haven't read it, I can heartily recommend it. I've been just guzzling these things up. They're fantastic.
DC unfortunately seems too concerned about their really big properties to not getting them right. Like,
yeah, and that's where Marvel won with Guardians, because nobody, as you said earlier, nobody had a clue about Guardians.
Oh,
but when somebody understood it, somebody got it right, and it threw them out there, everybody was on board. And if you do that, it doesn't matter what the property is. It doesn't matter how old it is, how long it's been going. If you do it properly, people will get on board with it because people want these stories. I sound frustrated. I am.
No, we are too. We are too.
I do have a statement that I found online a couple of weeks ago. One of my favorite critics on the internet, Nostalgia Critic, he summed up the relationship between Marvel and DC in terms of how they make their movies. he summed it up in one sentence, which I think is perfect, is if Marvel is humans becoming gods, then DC is gods becoming humans.
I've heard that a million times. Well,
That's pretty accurate.
It's
Yeah, going around telling people that.
Basically, it's Marvel is humans becoming gods, and DC is gods trying to be human.
Trying to be human, yeah.
Yes.
Keyword.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas that implies the real
even
battle, which I
as-
think is what's still, it's the one thread of hope that all of us who still love their characters are holding on to, is the fact that we know that they're trying to be
Which
good,
Marvel,
trying-
even as these guys become gods, they still have that human aspect to them, and they don't lose it. And that's why we attach, especially in movies, we attach more to the Marvel superheroes right now than the DC.
Because to Stan Lee's credit, wouldn't that be cool if I had that experience?
Well, it's literally his Incredible Hulk explanation in Mallrats about how
Does he have a big orange dork too?
He talks about the Incredible Hulk coming from inside, that kind of idea of this raging animal inside of ourselves.
I mean, Kevin Smith was that.
I know, but it's the explanation he gave. I'm saying.
Just saying.
I'm not saying he
Man
wrote
has
that
a point.
explanation.
But here's where the Astro City thing comes back in again, because with all the DC properties and the Marvel properties, they're all about. Sorry, I'm blocking the camera. they're all about this one guy or this one woman who is different from everybody else and blah blah blah. Where Astro City is different and turns the whole thing on its head is that this is a world in which superheroes are the norm. I mean, they're just, you walk down the street and you expect to see this guy, just hovering up above stuff. And even that is a complete kind of mind shift in terms of how we view the whole superhero genre, which arguably you could say is getting a little tired.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. In the next few years, that's going to be the thing. It's going to be like, it's going to fall down, because the one thing when we get to the Marvel talk, we'll talk about it more, but it's become so saturated now that it's
maybe on a
almost too
commercial, maybe on a large, grand, worldwide commercial scale, yes.
much. Even on television now.
But the
it's getting
hardcore
saturated.
people are still going to clamor for it.
Hardcore,
They're
yeah.
still going to make money.
But the
books, they're
studios
still
are going to
make
start
money
to
on
walk
the
away
animation.
from it. The studios are going to start to walk away from
But
it.
if well, not Marvel Studios, they're not walking away from it.
They're not going away
Yeah.
from anything.
Yeah, Marvel's got movies planned up to frickin' 2024.
Well, and to be fair, Warner Brothers also has these movies slated.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's they
Up until 2021.
yeah they've done, Marvel has laid the groundwork for how it should look. DC picks and chooses what aspects of that formula they want to adhere to,
Yeah.
and which ones they don't want to follow. And the problem is
Continuation is not one of the ones they want to follow.
no. Well, Marvel made that mistake as well, but it's one of those things where they did. How many Spider-Men?
But
How many
that's
Hulks?
Sony. That's Sony.
Punishers.
How many
Like I said,
Punishers?
it
How
took
many
them
Hulks?
6 times to get it right.
I'm sure it was owned by Fox.
Fox. Yeah. Sony.
Look, I'm sorry that
Sony's
there was
for
a
the
dispute
pooch on
over who
Spider-Man.
owned what property.
Well,
But
they
one
can't
they're
control
taking them
that.
back.
Is the point.
Yeah, it's
They
fine.
can't control
Now
the
it's
reboots
Disney
of
owning all of
their
it,
stuff
right?
that they don't own. Well,
not all of it. Not
they're
X-Men.
borrowing Spider-Man from Sony. They don't have
Give it time.
Complicated relationship.
Give it
Yeah,
time.
that's-
Disney will own it. I
I
guess.
hope so.
Yeah.
Disney will own everything.
Everything,
They'll probably
exactly.
own us by
Kara
the
is
time that
100% right,
we're
Kara.
all
In our lifetimes.
slightly older.
In our lifetimes, Marvel and DC will eventually be owned by one company.
In our lifetimes,
Yeah.
And then we'll get a
Yeah,
Justice
I
League
can see that.
versus Avengers crossover that I've been dreaming of.
But we'll be old and pissed about it.
yeah,
So we will
I'm
be.
very pissed about
We're like,
it.
actually, you know what?
Because
Fox will still have the X-Men.
yeah,
They're like,
we're gonna so
milk the
start
hell
happening
out
is
of
like
that.
Marvel and the writers will start like killing Batman and shit just because they don't want to give them movies like they did with the fucking Fantastic
They're gonna
Four and
have-
the X-Men.
I would kill the
They
Fantastic
killed
Four.
Oh, Fantastic Four is done.
I would
like,
just kill them off.
That-
Oh, actually,
Wait,
you're wrong about that statement.
What?
Fantastic
We
Four
got-
is not done. They're
we
putting
don't-
them.
All the
Putting them.
Doctor Who movies.
They're gonna put them in Infinity War.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
No, they're
Uh,
not.
the way they got the rights for Fantastic Four for Infinity War.
Well, that's what's going on in the. That's what's going on in the community right now. They're thinking, hey, they're gonna put Fantastic Four in. There's a rumor going around about that.
I've heard she hasn't been wrong about any of her theories.
That's a hard one.
Just saying.
It's a hard one to solve because I don't think, unlike, because Fantastic Four is it Fox or Sony?
Fox.
And Fox
it is
not
Fox.
bent to Marvel at all.
Yep.
Fox is not bent to Marvel at all. Sony has a little bit with Spider-Man, but Fox has not. So
I
don't
know
know.
X-Men, they're not letting go of that.
I know that they are already smashed. They're already looking at doing a new reboot Fantastic Four.
They did set forth a Doctor Doom movie. They announced that the other day.
Look, didn't
I
we
could
realize
see-
when
I
no
could
one
see-
wanted to see the Sinister Six?
I could see Fantastic Four characters, not the Fantastic Four characters in Infinity War. Somebody like Galactus or the Silver Surfer.
Galactus would make sense.
Yeah, but I
I'll
don't know
look
if
it
I would
up.
see the actual
Hang
Fantastic
on.
Four.
I will do my best as a semi-reporter.
Dr. Doom,
I want though.
I like these.
I would like Doctor Doom.
Dr. Doom is Marvel's best villain. He really is.
I would like to see Doctor Doom in a Spider-Man.
I want Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl's happening in some form or another.
They
I think.
cast her already.
Is it
She's
a
in,
TV show or a movie?
TV
She's in,
show. Runaways.
Runaways.
Yeah.
Is she
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be in Defenders?
No, I don't think so.
No, that's
No.
a weird thing too because isn't Runaways Hulu?
Or Amazon one too.
Okay, so the Runaways, I believe, is we're gonna get in trouble. It's either Hulu or Amazon, but that's Quentin Peoples is doing that.
Right.
He's leaving Iron Fist.
Which I just saw the announcement
Which
that they're starting.
Which is too
production
bad
on
because
that.
his episodes were the best ones.
Well,
on Iron
maybe it
Fist.
was the right call.
Like he's like, I got to get out of there.
Yes,
Understandable.
done that before. So I think that's what's going on there. And so now he's moving over to another property, and hopefully this one will do well for him, and he'll just keep blowing. He's doing great, by the way.
Oh, sure.
See, and that's that example. The
Fox,
Runaway.
you need to retract your statement about me being never wrong.
Uh-oh, Kara's wrong.
Yeah, I know. Hang on. I'll remedy this.
DC would never consider doing a series something like The Runaway. They won't even one thing again.
Yeah, Fantastic Four is not coming in the MCU. I was wrong.
I think Suicide Squad would have been better as a TV series than it would have been as a
I agree. That would work.
Okay.
Suicide Squad would have been fine.
I have some things to say about Suicide Squad.
Which is to make the grandiose beam into the sky climax to their film. They make it too big, and like the consequences are too
I'll tell
high.
you where they really screwed up with Suicide Squad. Using that as the introduction to the Joker.
It would have been fine if they hadn't fucked up
Who
the Joker.
the Joker never had anything to do with the Suicide Squad. And I
think
get it.
it's evident that DC has
They just
for
want to shoehorn
decades.
too much in everything.
for decades has been guilty of not really knowing what the audience wants.
They've been a little tone deaf about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
I
so
think that DC just needs to find its feet. Because I know it's taken them a while to do that. And I am perfectly fine with that. Trust me, I've met people who still need to find their feet.
I kind of agree with you, though. I think that
They had an opportunity.
they need to plant their feet is the biggest
The
issue.
Nolan.
Yeah,
the
they need to figure out what kind of genre they want.
The Nolan films nailed it.
They did.
What
Yes.
they could have done
Is build
is,
up that.
introduce, and here's where everybody would have been happy. Keep Batman dark, but you bring in a bright ass Superman.
Yeah.
And you insert the worlds into each other, and they forced to have to. That would have worked so
Let
much
me ask
better.
you this.
Because Nolan,
Yeah, right now all DC wants is to be realistic and
No, but he left the door.
It was yeah.
And
sure.
They put it off that tonality.
No, but if they would have had the Joseph Gordon-Levitt be Batman going forward, then there's the continuity to a greater thing. You've got your bedrock, where like you look at the Avengers, they were hoping, praying to anything that would listen that Iron Man worked.
Right, because they were like,
Because
do this and we wanna do
if
this and
that
we're
if
gonna
Iron
bring it
Man doesn't work,
Yeah,
nothing
they were
happened.
screwed. If that didn't work, they were
Yeah.
toast.
Iron Man was Robert Downey Jr.'s redemption.
Yeah, it
Yes.
was.
I would say Tropic Thunder was Robert Downey Jr.'s redemption.
His redemption.
Saying Tropic Thunder, so that means absolutely nothing to me.
neither redemption.
He's got Scientology.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. I don't.
DC needs to like go back to, because their best film that worked was Dark Knight, and they didn't have a ridiculous climax. Where it
Which
was
you were in.
It was okay.
I like
Batman
Batman Begins was great, but it didn't have a ridiculous climax where there was a super weapon or something supernatural.
Just stop the train from crashing into the building.
Yeah, but for Dark Knight,
That's
it was
something that
Joker.
a Batman can handle.
Right, but for Dark Knight, it was just Joker gonna blow up a couple of boats. Just kill a couple hundred people, not the whole fucking world,
Right.
not the city, just a couple hundred people, and it's a better climax because there's more tension because it might actually happen.
Well, and we get time with those people.
Yeah.
In there, we get to see the faces of potential victims.
That's a very good point.
So yeah,
Spider-Man does that.
That's one thing all of the Spider-Mans have done.
Actually, I was thinking watching Spider-Man with the boat. I'm like, this is.
I thought it was Spider-Man 2.
Have you guys seen Spider-Man Homecoming yet?
Yes.
What?
Have you guys seen Spider-Man Homecoming yet?
Yes.
I have, yeah.
Don't talk about it with me yet. I want to see it on my birthday.
I liked it. I will
Was
say
that an
that.
X-Men?
I will say, in terms of Spider-Man: Homecoming, I have Spider-Man is probably the only Marvel property that I have ever been particularly invested in, and every time I've seen a Spider-Man on screen, I have been disappointed, and that's going back right the way to the 1970s TV show, and this time they got it right.
Yeah.
okay.
That's what I've been told. I've been told that many times, and I'm just like, please. And I really want to go see it with my dad, but he is not interested in seeing another Spider-Man reboot.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's not that.
I'm the biggest Batman fan in the world, but if I have to spend one more piece of celluloid on Crime Alley, I'm going to lose my
Which is
mind.
one thing that was nice about this new Spider-Man. They didn't show the origin story. They didn't.
True.
They knew you don't need it.
I didn't even. What's nice is I didn't notice because it's ingrained at this
Right.
point.
It's
And
like the
I
Batman
did.
origin
At no
story.
point was I like.
Well, not
Did
to
I
mention-
even think of it?
They did have the small advantage where this Spider-Man in particular was already introduced to you.
Right.
So we got a
Right.
small bit of origin where we got the prototypes.
That's what I mean.
Him with his axe.
As far as
Right, that's
DC
different.
too,
Just
is
be
that
happy it didn't turn out to be Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
it's like going Batman Begins to Dark Knight. It was just the card. It was the tease.
It's beautiful.
And so it was just the idea that this exists in this world. And,
Of course.
Deal
and then,
with it. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we're in Suicide Squad, and it's just like, oh well, yeah, they killed Robin. It's a
Well,
small
there's
thing.
there's a
What
huge
the
jump.
fuck, dude?
There's
Like
a huge jump.
these are the stories I want to know.
I want Matt Reeves' Batman to just ignore all
How
that
would
shit. I want a small contained movie. I want him to adapt to Arkham Asylum. I want Die
Yes,
Hard with Batman.
yes,
One
yes,
building,
yes.
one night.
I'd like to
I'm
see
okay
that.
with that.
I'd like to see that.
I'm absolutely okay
And
with
I'm
that.
pretty Batmaned out at this point.
Well,
but I'd
that
like
would
to see
be an excellent depiction of who the character is, what he's up against.
Detective work.
Yes, I agree with all of that.
You get the
I want Arkham whatever. I don't care if it's freaking Arkham
Nothing
Knight.
grandiose.
I
He doesn't have
just
to
want
like shoot people with the Batmobile. He's not flying around the city. He's stuck in one building one night. He gets the ever-loving shit beat out of him. He has to do detective work.
Yeah, I'm okay
That's
with
what
that.
I want.
All right,
So,
so
when you
let's-
say Arkham Asylum, you mean adapting the
The
comic.
game. No,
Oh,
the
okay,
game.
okay, because that's what I was thinking. That because when you said that, I was thinking about all the shooting shit with the Batmobile was totally unnecessary.
Don't get me wrong.
Like it sounded cool, like I get to drive the Batmobile, and it's like, why do I have to do all this shit with the
Yeah, don't
Batmobile?
get me
Arkham
wrong.
Asylum.
Yeah,
I just want to get around. in
There's
the
similarities between the game and the book, and I would like if they put in some elements of the book, absolutely, like going crazy or whatnot. But that's what I want. I want it small and contained. One building, one night, have the hell beat out of them. That's what I want.
Yeah.
To go off of what you're saying, Paul, I think that they should do a crossover of for a movie of Arkham Asylum and Court of Owls. Just
Put the
because that has
Court of
never
Owls in
been
Arkham
seen.
Asylum. I mean, an element of that might work, but
I wouldn't mind like an
No.
Easter egg of the
Yes,
Court
an
of Owls,
Easter egg.
but not.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like an Easter egg, not a full on like, oh, they're controlling everything.
Well,
No,
and they
This
kind
ain't
of
Gotham.
did that in the game with Arkham.
A little
Like,
bit, yeah.
A
There was
little bit of like,
Just-
what was he into?
just a little bit, but the fact you don't need that much considering you're already in Arkham Asylum. You've got every
All
rogues
right,
gallery.
Batman does not need our help. Let's move on
Okay,
beyond
let's
that.
talk about television because we haven't really talked about the television programs at all. We've talked a lot about
There's
cinematic
a
because it's the reason it needs the most help.
Yeah.
But the television, some of the stuff is done well, some of the stuff is not done as well.
Okay.
We've got the CW shows and the ones that have been absorbed by the CW, like Supergirl.
That's confusing to me. I don't get all that.
Some of those shows are entertaining. Some of them are not good.
I'll be honest and say I watched every single one of them, and at this point, I'm only watching Gotham and Flash.
Flash is still probably the best one.
Yeah, Flash.
Flash is nailing it.
I tried it twice.
I'm not caught up with Flash. I'm not finished this season.
See, and that's the sad part, though. We're sitting here talking about how I wish they do these more obscure characters like Guardians, but I don't even know who fucking Dominic Purcell is. Like when
he's Dominic Purcell.
Heatwave is lame as shit.
But he eats yogurt with a tiny spoon.
Here's the thing: the reason I like Legends is because it takes me back to the kind of like 90s style TV shows where it's like a genre of the week, where it's like one week it's a Western, the next week they're medieval.
Sliders.
Yeah, I love that.
I love the concept of it.
I can just turn my brain off and go, oh, this is fun.
I love the
and this is.
I don't care about the overall arc of the story.
Yeah,
I just want to see fun stuff happen in weird scenarios.
That's why I started watching for that, but it just hasn't stuck to me.
I'd like a better band of misfits.
The first season, I didn't like.
This is why earlier on.
But they're not.
But the second season is when they finally decided to be like, yeah, let's
thing.
do it. They really committed to the genre
God,
of the week.
let's talk about the White Canary.
No,
I have no issue with her sexuality, except the fact that every episode they have to hammer it home on.
that's true too.
And I'm like, you don't have to do it every episode.
Clearly, I missed something because I don't watch Legends.
Cheap offshoots of
Just
characters
keep it
that
in
already
your
exist. How many black canaries? How many canaries?
You're trying to save time. You're trying to save time and the world, and somehow you're getting laid on the reg.
Yeah, it's like an effing aviary in there.
A little.
I'm just going to work and sitting at home, and I can't even get a hand jibber.
You're helping man.
Yeah, give me a hand jibber.
Be a yellow canary.
Yeah, a Tweety bird.
Come, motherfuckers.
I think going forward, honestly, Flash is the only one I'm going to keep watching.
It's going to be hard.
Because I abandoned Gotham.
Gotham's a whole other animal.
I'm still watching Supergirl.
Now we're in my department.
Arrow, you know, they started so good.
Yeah.
So good.
For me, it took a little while.
I can't.
Did you not like the last season?
I cannot.
Really?
I cannot do any more flashbacks. I can't do it.
Me too. Thank you.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. They originally said, okay, we're done with flashbacks, but now they're like, we're going to use them sparingly, or maybe with other people now. Because they realize they don't know how to tell a story without them.
Yeah.
So like, we totally need flashbacks.
Is it just possible they have a hard-on for Lost?
I was thinking the same thing. When are they going to do flash forwards?
We just got a huge donation.
Just me. Like,
We did.
What Lost started doing.
We just got a big donation from I believe it's Kara's dad.
Really?
Thank
you. Wait, how much is it?
I'm not going to say.
We'll talk about it off air.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Kara. Does that mean
Thank you, Daddy.
$20? You have to have hot sauce.
It is more than $20.
All right.
Which means I have to take another hit of that hot sauce.
Another hit.
Here we go.
Good thing.
Actually, no, we'd have to get him to the hospital.
You know what? His mouth on your bullet.
That's not good.
That's not it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very
So
good.
Ian mentioned earlier what more obscure thing he would like DC to produce. What do you guys think? What would you like to see that they?
I want them
done?
to give Constantine another goddamn shot.
I'm with that. I want Constantine.
Music
Why he's
Meister!
not? I want the dark universe that they fucking promised us.
I want it on a network that would actually.
Do you want dark or do you want light?
No.
I'm
not talking about making the other characters dark.
Yes.
I want Constantine. I want Swamp Thing.
I want
the Vertigo properties.
Yeah,
I want
Vertigo.
Sandman for fuck's sake.
I want to see American Vampire movie. That would be good.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is out there now.
He tried out.
Did he? Son of a bitch!
That Sandman is dead.
That sucks.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I would totally accept.
It's too bad because Neil Gaiman should be on the rise right now.
I would totally accept Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Dick Grayson.
Yes.
Nightwing.
Yeah.
He would be Nightwing. He would be
Please.
an excellent.
But he
I
wanted to
want
be
Nightwing.
It was a big donation.
It was a huge donation.
Oh my
Oh my
word!
God.
Here we go.
Third time.
Thank you, Dad. I love you.
It was a big donation. You get big hot sauce.
Dad, if you kill my boss, I would be really mad.
It was big enough to make him do that much.
50?
I don't know.
Okay, so if he collapses, you know you guys are gonna have to like lift him in the car, right?
Really?
Yeah.
The burn! The burn!
No.
So
Get a donut.
Are you
I know
passing,
that.
like,
Okay,
doesn't
I have a character that I want.
You just gotta focus.
I want a Nightwing movie.
Iron
Okay,
Fist.
Nightwing, yeah.
See that shit
They
out.
want to make it
They're making a Nightwing movie.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing
Yeah.
Teen Titans.
All right, yeah.
And I would be good with Joseph Gordon-Levitt if they just do the same thing that they did with James Bond and M. Cast the same person, don't acknowledge it. You know, just like yeah. Just like
Vox is excusing himself.
just like don't acknowledge the last one.
Dad, you killed my boss.
Also, I mean, the Batgirl movie's gonna probably be fantastic.
Okay,
I wonder
I
what.
don't want Batgirl. I want Oracle, and that's not just because I am her.
I don't know.
What?
What
Would you say,
I
Karen?
don't. I don't want Batgirl. I want Oracle. Just because they don't really have. I'm only saying this because they don't really have a representation of
I got it.
of like I'm using this word very delicately, disabled. You know,
Yeah.
I would like post-Killing Joke. I just want something to do with that kind of story of like completely cyberspace.
I'll be completely honest. Barbara Gordon has not been anywhere near as interesting since they cured her, since they fixed her. She was far more interesting as Oracle than she is another Batman.
Oh man, that's I do not agree with that.
No?
I mean, she was fascinating either like as Oracle. There were some great stories I think since they brought her back. Now, I don't accept that. I hate just the retconning of it.
Yeah.
But
I just don't like the idea of her being yet another masked vigilante in Gotham. She was far more interesting what she could do as the Oracle.
well, that's
I have to show you that I'm crying just for the record.
I think that's why with Whedon taking Batgirl, I think eventually we get that.
Okay, I would like it if the movie ended with her getting shot.
Well, I don't know if that's going to be in Batgirl. I think once we get new Batman in place, if it's Affleck or whatever.
I want it to be
Then we get Nightwing. Then we get Batgirl. Then we can have a Bat Family movie.
Okay, I do want us to have a movie of Death in the Family. Like that is what I'm hoping for the Batman movie.
I have seen Joss Whedon. I have seen Joss Whedon working with Jordan with Leto.
Probably not. Hopefully they
I think
get a
he
new
just
Joker.
did it
I don't think they have
Okay.
tonal overlap.
I'm gonna say
I
a
was
bold
thinking that
statement, even though I do appreciate Leto's portrayal. Screw Leto. Cast
Yeah.
another frickin' Joker. I love Leto's portrayal, but only because it seemed like a realistic version of the Joker.
You know what? You know what I would like? Since if we're gonna have an older Batman like Affleck, why don't we have an old Joker as well? Older,
Later.
Mark Hamill in live action.
Oh my God!
Absolutely, yes.
Yes,
Amen.
please. Although technically he's not supposed to be the Joker anymore. I don't care though.
He said he wasn't going to voice the Joker
The
anymore.
shade is Thanos.
He said that.
Yeah,
but
he pulled off old
The
Trickster.
shade is Thanos. A better older Batman would be Roland.
Brolin would be interesting.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
What?
Brolin.
Josh Brolin.
That wouldn't be
But he's
bad.
Jonah Hex.
And Cable. now.
Let's not.
And Cable. He's gonna be Cable.
What?
It's
What's
Joe
Roland?
Big Kira Knightley, damn it.
It's
What's
over.
Roland?
It's over.
I will never give that up.
Honestly,
The
The other thing I would like to say at this point is you mentioned retconning, and I think that in terms of, I mean, we're not even just talking, DC/Marvel properties here, but I think retconning has been the enemy of storytelling for probably the last 10 years now.
Oh, easily. Easily. How many times can we reset everything?
I don't know. As
New 52 was 2011?
You got a point though. The books do it all the time.
Yeah, they do.
Not like-
They do.
Not whole lines.
As long as they don't reboot Harry Potter, I'm fine.
It used to happen sparingly because it was a gigantic event.
Marvel has gone to all new, all different Marvel now, and it's all within three times within a 5-year plan. The entire line.
And just in case no one else has noticed, DC's about to do it again.
Yeah.
They've done it. They just announced a new Crisis. It's
Yeah.
going to be Dark Crisis coming out.
I can't even keep track.
Okay. I have a further question for you guys.
Yeah.
I personally have a recent-ish comic franchise type storyline that I think personally they should never touch because it can not possibly match the quality of what's produced in book form. And my suggestion for that.
I knew he was going to say that. Hush.
No.
Hush is beautiful. I love it.
Hush was
Exactly.
good.
And this is why I don't want them to touch it.
Except it's perfect.
Except for the fact that our villain had no fucking motive. None.
Yeah, well, that is true.
He was just petty.
Yeah,
I do not want them to see. I do not want to see them trying to adapt Hush into any other form than what I'm currently holding in my hand, because honestly, I think in terms of the story that they are telling,
I'd be okay with it animated, but I don't want to see it.
possibly animated.
I would like to see animated.
As a season of a show.
Actually,
But this again comes back to the fact that the way that they tackle the animated stuff seems to fit the medium that much better than the live action. And this is something that they never seem to have been able to get on top of. And this is what frustrates me to no end.
Hush,
you know what I
can't do
think
live
is
action right now because Hush involves too much of the family. It involved all the rogues. It involved all the other members of that family. You cannot do it right now. I would like to see it in the future. I would like to see them try. Once you get a Batgirl and a Nightwing movie up, and we get the new Batman.
They would have to be good.
Yes, but I would be all for it. I say give it a shot. Give our villain a better motive. Even like if you put Tommy Elliott in an early movie,
does it have to even be Tommy Elliott?
No, just whoever's going to be Hush.
Well, does it have to be Hush?
Yes.
Does it have to be that character? Can't you just fit
just knowing that eventually he will be?
Are we talking like Star Wars 2?
No,
Wrath of Khan, but not Wrath of Khan?
Have you guys ever heard of the Batman Telltale series? I'm getting a point.
One of the rogues is the one pulling all the strings.
Now, the one pulling the strings or Hush himself? Because the one pulling the strings was the goddamn Riddler.
Yeah.
Right. So leave it to Riddler.
Which was my favorite ending.
Because it redeemed the Riddler.
Yes.
Everyone forgets that for 20 years before that point, the Riddler was a fucking joke. Ever
My
since
green
Nightfall,
suited
Hush. When Nightfall happened, Riddler fell.
Yeah.
They made him a joke because his own henchmen beat the living shit out of him. And then after that, he was an inside joke.
So why can't it be the Riddler then as
I'm not saying it's wrong.
No,
I'm just saying
yeah.
himself.
If you don't like Hush, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
Riddler,
As a Riddler fangirl, I have some things to say about this.
Yeah,
He's controlling.
Kara's a Riddler freak, so let her say what you.
Okay, so I think first off, this is about Hush in general. Have you guys ever heard of the Batman Telltale series?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I would like Telltale to do a video game based on Hush. Not necessarily in the Telltale form because, it chooses what you want with things. I think that they could do a very effective Arkham Asylum-esque version of Hush. Because they are killing it with Telltale right now.
I feel like Arkham Asylum kind of is. Kind of does do that because
a little bit
because you're telling it in pieces.
If I was to see an Arkham Asylum adaptation, like of the comic book, I mean, I would want it to be almost like an art house type thing. I would want it to be completely out there, really surreal, really artsy fartsy, kind of messing with your brain. The way that the artwork in Arkham Asylum plays off, it affects your mind.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that almost Dali-esque kind of surrealist kind of fantasy, whatever you want to call it. That's what I would want to see. And I honestly don't know if that could ever be done live action. I think it would have to be done. Like we were talking earlier on, we were talking about the Watchmen adaptation to cinema. And the director's cut of that specifically, and the way that they incorporated all of the extra pieces from the comic books into the director's cut with all the animated segments. I think something like that for Arkham Asylum, the book, or at least the series, whatever you want to call it, I think that might work. I think it would be very hard to do Arkham Asylum as an adaptation live action without bringing in elements of the kind of crazy animation kind of stuff. I don't know.
Because they tried to do it in the animation.
Well, what's interesting, and this might bring up a bigger point, with Batman specifically in the DC universe, like the whole Batman milieu, it has much more open interpretation to stylization. You could go kind of the surreal Guillermo del Toro style. So you could go straight up noir with Batman. You can go dirty and gritty. You can go so many ways.
You guys talking about Justice League Dark?
No, we're just talking about Batman in general.
He's one of the most flexible.
Also, can we not call it Justice League Dark?
But it's such a terrible.
More like
fucking
Justice League
That's
Dark.
the name. Yeah, that's the
They
name.
shouldn't be that. They don't even need it.
Well, we'll write them a letter, but until then,
Back to what I was gonna say. Back to what I was gonna say about the Riddler in live action stuff. I mean, Corey Michael Smith on Gotham is just killing it as him. I honestly think he is, and I would love to see the Riddler in terms of the DCEU right now, but I think they need to wait till they find their feet, because they certainly did with Wonder Woman. They certainly figured out the style that makes a good movie.
All right.
But
let's get away from Batman. Let's get away from the Rogues Gallery.
She just said Wonder Woman, then you cut her up.
She did.
I'm sorry. let's get away. Let's get away from Wonder Woman. We already know Wonder Woman and Batman are going to be in the Justice League film.
We don't know
Let's
that's
talk about the Aquaman.
No.
He's gonna be the breakout star.
Aquaman stuff.
gonna be
Let's
the
get on
Hulk.
with it.
Jason Momoa is gonna crush it.
Yeah, he's already crushing.
He's gonna be
Okay, I have a confession to make, right?
No, because DC actually owns him.
But okay, here's the thing. I'm sorry. I love Jason Momoa. I loved him in Game of Thrones, but it's Aquaman.
It's Aquaman, but Aquaman gets shit because of the old cartoon series. But Aquaman might be like the toughest member of the Justice League.
He's crazy.
Right.
He's powerful for like 70% of the planet. He's a king. He has a fucking army.
Dude, watch Young Justice.
Young Justice.
Okay.
He's kind of awesome.
Yeah, no. Dude, watch Brave and the Bold. He's still awesome.
Okay, I want to fill you guys.
John
I want to
DiMaggio.
fill you guys in on something here, right? Like I say, I'm a recent convert to comic books. Okay, I downloaded a whole bunch of stuff to watch on my iPad, and some of the stuff that I downloaded on my iPad and I've read and I've absorbed and everything else, I thought I need to have a physical copy of that. I don't have much. Most of it is just digital. But if I turn to my shelf here, the thing that I have most of right here is Aquaman.
I have that
You
too.
punk.
Is that because
Because-
you live on an island?
Yeah, I have an affinity with Aquaman. But you know what? These stories are fantastic. And if this is done right, this is gold. This right here in my hands, this is money in the bank for DC if it was done right.
Well, and that's the Jeff Johns.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
So
Jeff Johns, Ethan Reese,
Jeff Johns,
and Paul
Jason
Pelletier.
Momoa do it.
Yes,
Yeah.
if they were allowed to.
You got a badass Black Manta, totally.
Now that's where you bring in Idris Elba, because he would kill it.
No, I
Why
wanted.
is he gotta
I
be a
wanted
black
I
man?
wanted to
Because
see-
Black Manta is black.
I wanted just Elba to be. John
Yeah.
Stewart.
Also, if I can also add, this is not Jason
I mean,
Momoa.
I'll take him.
No.
Straight.
Who is it then?
Chris Hemsworth.
It's more like freaking Owen Wilson.
Let's not put Owen Wilson in anything.
Wow.
I don't want Lightning McQueen being an iconic superhero. I'm sorry.
No, I don't want that either.
I think it's pretty clear that Jason Momoa is going to steal Justice League.
Yeah, we already know. I mean, just because of the hype he's getting on his own, like all his Instagram is hilarious.
And the man is just made of charisma,
we
and
know.
he's just
Yeah.
smooth.
We know the Flash isn't going to be.
I worry about
I
worry
know-
about Ezra Miller, but at
Well,
the same time,
Hashtag not my Barry Howard.
I know the suit comes from the comics, but I still think that suit is ugly as sin.
they're definitely doing
You
the
told me
injustice. They're definitely doing it. They're definitely
There's
doing
two?
that.
Okay.
It's the injustice.
I don't like this.
It's
I don't
ugly as
I'm not a
hell.
fan of it in Injustice, but yeah.
It's still better than the Green Lantern suit.
This is true.
Ryan Reynolds did that as well.
Ryan Reynolds tried his best, okay?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, but
Or at least a tease to him.
There will be a tease,
there's
something
all right,
in
to the
space.
core. Oh, you know what? I'd like to see maybe a ring shooting off on the Earth.
You know,
to find
maybe the end, like
The
the
after credit scenes, the spaceship
They
crash.
cut in its
Yeah.
Deadpool
You know what I would
saying
bring
fuck this.
pops up
Is Ryan Reynolds as the Green Lantern's face stapled to Jason Momoa's face?
If
So-
we're doing with dealing with Darkseid, Apocalypse, and Steppenwolf, even they will just mention the Guardians, the Core, something like that.
Yeah.
We will get a hint.
Well, we know that they're going to do a core film,
Yeah, we'll get something in Justice League.
Yeah, that's on the slate.
and it's not the
Green
Green. It's not the
Lantern
Green
Corps.
Lantern. It's the Green Lantern Corps,
Is the Lantern Corps,
Which
yeah.
is fine.
which
Like
is
that.
Get 'em all.
what needs to be.
You have to have Green Lantern somehow in this movie.
Because
Yeah. You don't have to, but it'd be
I feel
nice.
like you have to.
He's a major part of the Justice League.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I still want us to have a good Martian Manhunter.
Idris Elba's
He's-
Johnster.
He's got too much on his plate. He's not going to show
Oh, fuck
up.
that. He fit it in.
I don't think
He's
he will
the-
right now.
I think Common.
I love Common.
Ooh, Common would be
Common
good.
is such a
I
damn
think
good
he
actor.
read. I think he read.
That's been rumored for a long.
I love Common in Hell on Wheels. He
Yes,
was,
he was
so
good.
good in Hell on Wheels.
He's very good.
Common, I'll watch anything with Common. He's great.
All right, what are we doing with Cyborg?
Boo.
Getting rid of him.
If he isn't portrayed like he is in Teen Titans, then I'm gonna be sad.
Funny, the guy who plays his dad is the guy who's in
Terminator.
Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Joe Morton, Cyberdyne system.
I think he's in this movie and he's in Justice League 2, and that's it.
What's frustrating? He's getting his own movie. What's frustrating to me is why did they not put Green Lantern in the Justice League, but they put Cyborg in
because
the
they're
Justice
trying to.
who is
distance
clearly
the-
They're
more
so afraid of that
part
property right now.
Because
Teen
Cyborg.
Titans.
Yeah. It's
Because Cyborg, they put in there and no one
I think they're trying to attract the Teen Titans fandom.
whereas
I
they
don't
put
think it's
Green
even
Lantern,
that. I think
awesome reveal.
it's a
Not to mention
piece
that
of,
you have to get it right this time.
Yeah, you can't mess that one
You
up. again.
buried that shit.
it's
Yeah,
a case
you
of
have to-
toxic.
you have to
be on the
Stewart.
Because if you
Has to be
fuck up
Stewart.
Green Lantern twice,
No,
it becomes
no.
Fantastic
You're
Four.
telling me
Yeah.
about Jordan stuff.
Bad Four Sticks.
I am, but
Ugh.
why can't you reboot on that?
I
Better
want
than
to
Guy
say,
Gardner.
Why can't you reboot on Jordan?
I'm fine.
I think
with-
enough times passed.
Why not? Why can't you just combine
You
the two,
reboot-
honestly?
Well, here's
I mean,
the
Hal
thing, right?
Stewart-
Here's the thing.
Or Hal Jordan's story or something
What if
like
it
that.
was-
Combine
Oh,
the
that's
two.
fine.
Eating straight to Tom.
That was weird.
You should get the fuck out of here. Okay? Honestly, take a
Straight
shot
to
at hot
Tom.
sauce from that.
No.
I was just gonna say, in terms of Green Lantern, okay, I think the Green Lantern, in one sense, I think the DC executives are seeing him as a tainted brand,
Mhm.
as a kind of like, oh crap, we tried this and it went to shit, and so therefore we're going to run in the opposite direction.
They
And
tried
yet,
because
the Marvel universe has shown us that even if something has been done a billion times before, Spider-Man, you still have the
You leave
possibility
Spidey
of
alone.
actually getting it right. And so it's maybe not such a bad idea to come back to the Green Lantern thing and try it and get it freaking right this time and don't screw it up.
You know, Green Lantern could have his own more like cinematic universe.
They need to spend more time talking about the various cores. You know, having all the will core and a little bit of Sinestro core at the end, as opposed to
Oh my God, I would
Amorous and
I was gonna say,
I
you
don't know.
wanna introduce
I
one of the
eventually
others.
want a Blackest Night movie, though.
Yeah, sure.
Amazing.
Sure, but
That'd
I'm
be great.
saying in general, the thing. Did you guys watch the animated series, the Green Lantern animated series? They got
I
it
hated
right.
the animation.
They got it right with the animated series.
And here we go again. Here we go with the DC universe getting the animated stuff right and getting everything else completely messed up.
Yeah,
So
no,
what the heck is the problem?
Oh,
It's so good.
in my opinion, then the problem, the answer has got to be higher up the food chain because it would make sense that the higher ups wouldn't pay as much attention to the animated stuff because it probably doesn't sell anywhere near as much. So then the creators are
It's
allowed to
just
do
straight
what.
to DVD and
Right.
streaming.
So then the creators
Except
are allowed
for,
to do what they want to
Batman
do.
Harley Quinn. That's going to be in theaters.
They all hit the theaters.
Like one night.
Do they all
Batman Harley Quinn. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's frustrating.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's
that has got to be the problem with Warner Brothers and DC is there's too much meddling high up the food chain.
Yeah.
yeah. But I thought when they handed control over to Jeff Johns,
That's what I thought too.
that was a good move.
I think, but the problem is there's people higher than Jeff Johns.
Oh, sure.
So they're going to be pulling his strings one way or the other, and they think that's still what's happening because they're driving away good directors. They drove away fucking Mel Gibson, Ben Affleck. We thought they drove away Matt Reeves before he decided to come back. That would have been disastrous.
But here we have the same issue. If I can draw a little, if I can draw a little parallel here, I'm a huge Muppet fan, right? I know this seems faintly ridiculous, but since the Muppets went over to Disney, Disney has not known what to do with the Muppets, and they've tried a gajillion things, and it's never really worked because they don't understand the characters. They don't understand what people loved about the things. And it's the same problem with Star Wars. I mean, heavens, I'm the biggest Star Wars fan alive. And yet, the man who created Star Wars does not understand what people love about Star Wars. Oh!
That's really good, man.
I love it.
What about that people? Big
Oh, he's so cute.
He is very cute.
I love him.
But it's an exact parallel. It's an exact parallel. It's even the people who create the stuff to begin with, not understanding what people enjoy about the property that they created themselves.
He's right.
Right. More Ewoks.
More fuzzy.
Okay.
Nisa, agree with you.
We don't mention that name in my presence.
It's such a pretty voice.
Okay, now it's a little creepy. Oh god.
I have to use my hand.
Oh, there's two of them.
That's just my hand.
No, I'm talking about the other thing.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I will say, Ian, you are very, very right about that. About the creators not understanding what people like. And the problem is executives don't ask the fans. Sure, they have test audiences and that kind of crap. But test audiences don't understand it either because they talk to quote unquote normal people and not people like us. People like understand what's going on.
The problem
I'm ignoring the puppets.
Yeah, I think the problem that we run into is the fans, they don't account for all of the potential money that's on the table.
Yeah.
Right.
And so the
I
studio goes, okay, well, the fans want this, and we'll give them something. But we want to make it broad for all general audiences because that's what Marvel's doing. And I don't think that's what Marvel's doing. I think
It's
Marvel,
not.
Calls what Fox didn't do with Deadpool. They made
Right,
No,
they went right for that
Deadpool was done right.
Hell, Logan is as un-X-Men a movie as you
Yeah.
Logan is Unforgiven.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
I need these puppets, by the way. Those puppets are freaking awesome. Where did you get the puppets?
You can't own me.
I think you're going to license them from Disney. Good luck with that.
At Sesame Workshop, is there a build your own puppet station?
Still me.
Go ahead.
I've actually worked as a puppeteer, and those puppets fill me with delight. I need to play with those.
I'll feel you.
Have you ever seen our videos? My roommate the
With
puppet.
the puppets? I don't think I have. No.
I've never heard of this.
But
My roommate the puppet.
but donate first before you go to another website.
Donate right down there.
Donate.
Hit the
Right
button.
down.
At 6 o'clock, go watch all of the videos.
Oh my goodness, it's so cute.
Yes.
Oh
it
man,
is.
I think that what executives need to understand is yes, the fans are a small percentage of a big movie audience. I completely get that, but we're the ones that will spend the most money getting to this stuff and buying the merchandise because we are like.
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't think you spend the most money because the people who are going to spend the most money are kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Their parents
who don't know any
I
better.
want the costume for Halloween. I want all the toys.
Well, ultimately, these characters were created and were originally accepted and embraced by kids.
Except for Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Yep.
Deadpool.
Basically,
Deadpool is now-
what we're saying is we are the problem.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah. If
it's a
Deadpool was
14-year-old
out when
boy.
I was in junior high, oh my god. Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, the problem is, and again, it comes back to the Muppet thing, I guess, which is that we are a group of people. I mean, just going around the table here, aside from one of us, I think most of us were born either in the late 70s or early 80s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, aside from one, mentioning no names.
I'm the one.
And the fact that we have these strong feelings about these characters that we grew up with and that we loved and all the rest of it. And we are the ones, supposedly, that have the disposable income to actually be able to make these things prosper. And the danger is that people are going to try to, I guess, shift from the audience that really loves the stuff to where they think the most money is going to be, which is obviously in the marketing of toys and crap to kids, which arguably, again, drawing a Star Wars parallel, is what happened with Return of the Jedi, where the marketing side of things and the stamping of faces on lunchboxes and whatnot took precedence over the actual creative side of things.
And to be fair to DC, for generations, they did have that down. I mean, they, from Superman to Batman to Wonder Woman to all those characters, they licensed the hell out of those characters. And when I was little in the 70s and 80s, I mean, it was just everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody didn't know Batman and the Joker and Superman and Wonder Woman.
Yeah, but what have you done for me lately?
I think we watched Marvel get there.
Well, keep in mind, like when we were kids, Marvel was on the ropes. They were almost done.
Yeah, it was the 90s X-Men cartoon. That was all that was
Well,
good.
it was the 90s boom of all the cartoons. The 90s, the Spider-Man one too.
Right, I like that. But maybe that's part of DC's issues too, is it feels stale because they had that success so far long before.
They've always been, well, I felt like they kind of grew their market, or they kind of grew up with their market. Like they kept gearing towards people in their teens and 20s, and they're still trying to do that. Whereas Marvel seems to be more going for the kid. And
DC Connor says kids rule the box office. That's why a piece of crap like Frozen make over $1 billion.
Well, you're not wrong.
What kids are going to see Suicide Squad?
I will say that you are right about the whole like generational. I'm not saying I don't want to. I say this like delicately, generational gap.
We're old. It's all right, Cara. We're old.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to be nice here, okay? I'm saying that like it's like that. Whereas you guys, when you were younger, you had all the like 60s Batman stuff, all the cartoons and awesome things.
I had reruns, but yeah.
Yeah, I think we all had reruns.
Not that old. But
Paul's that old.
I'm trying to be deep here.
Also 1752.
Keep going.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying
That
this.
it's like that with my generation for like Disney stuff, because we, like you guys, also grew up on that kind of thing. There is nowhere where you don't see Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Cinderella, that kind of stuff. It's like that with us, whereas you guys, when you were younger, you had all the like superhero things, and now superheroes is considered a guy thing, whereas everything else is just like, oh, general things, but mostly for girls, that kind of stuff.
Okay,
I think
hang on. There's something Cara said there that I really want to jump onto, and I think it's really important, which is, if you look back historically, Disney is a really great example of this, because Disney had a string right through from the 1940s up to, I guess, probably the 1960s. They had a string of fantastic hits that were just absolute timeless classics. And then they hit this point round about the 60s and 70s where things just went to shit.
They were Oscar winners.
There were Oscar winners up to that point, and then things went down the tubes. And it was only, I guess, probably like a 20-year leap beyond that where things started to change, and we started to see your Beauty and the Beast and your Little Mermaids and these things coming through. There were actually massive hits.
Vault. That's what they needed. The Disney Vault killed it because,
and that was back at a time when you couldn't get things if they took it off the market.
Right
now you can, but
Bambi's going back in the vault.
Yeah,
get it while you can.
I remember that.
And that's if you actually have any of those old videotapes, even though they're videotapes, you could sell them for
the clamshell VHS ones.
Like it's ridiculous.
My sister has the entire collection.
Yeah, I have those too.
But again, something was going on there in terms of not just storytelling, but the way that stories were delivered that resonated with people. And it's not just the marketing side of things, although the marketing side of things was definitely a feature of that. Something changed. Something changed in the way that people were telling these stories. And I've become, over the last 10 years or so, I've become a huge believer in the power of story. Not just because I wrote a book and had to really start thinking about how stories go.
Not a Podathon for shameless plugging.
Yeah, I know. Nobody's going to read it. It's in Gaelic. Nobody's going to read it.
And also,
but even in terms of telling personal stories, story is what makes the world go round. I'm becoming more and more convinced of that fact. When people tell their stories, when people tell their personal stories, be they stories of personal experience, be they stories of faith, be they stories of whatever, those are the stories that resonate with people. And if you're not telling a story that resonates with people, then people are just going to tune out. And when you start telling stories that resonate with people, that's when things change and people start getting on board and people start, buying into whatever that property is. And I think that's what people need to get back to. People need to get back to the core thing that makes story work. And if they don't get to that point, if they're only playing off of visuals, or if they're only playing off of, what technology is able to portray, then you lose it. And you're only just, you're basically doing, I don't know, optical pornography. I don't know.
I think most of them.
That was really deep. I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, but you read it, don't you?
Yeah. When you were saying there was a time in the 60s for Disney where there was where all their movies were doing bad to the point where they almost shut down the entire company. I'm thinking that's what is kind of going through DC right now. They're going through that little phase. They're through the Silver Age, and now they're closely getting, I think, with Justice League, possibly, this is only from what I've seen, with Justice League, I think they're going to go into their Renaissance era and get through, because the Golden Age was all the old Batman stuff with Michael Keaton and not Batman and Robin. And
sorry, Joel Schumacher.
More nipples for me.
No one needs to apologize to Joel Schumacher. Joel Schumacher needs to apologize to everyone else.
And he has publicly apologized.
Multiple times.
I have news.
Oh.
What?
Months ago at San Diego Comic-Con, it is announced that Ben Affleck is not only still Batman, he is not going anywhere.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
He is
going to be like in San Diego for the foreseeable future.
He's going to be at the restaurant on the corner tonight.
Sorry, Sam Rockwell.
Everyone was pulling for that.
He's like, they promised.
I could see him as a rogue.
I love Sam Rockwell.
And Jason Momoa showed up at Comic-Con with his Aquaman trident.
Hell yeah.
Of course. Because why wouldn't you?
You got a person that shows up to a bar with it, and they're like, Jason, you can't do that. He's like, fuck you, I'm Aquaman. I don't think he
used to go through weapens check
no,
like
I'm talking
6
like
times.
people at DC. They're like, you can't take that. That's a secret prop. He's like, nah, I drink with this now.
That's like how when Ryan Reynolds walked off the Deadpool set with the suit.
He removes the trident portion and puts a a chalice on the top of.
Did you see? He posted a video of himself at an axe throwing place where he slammed a beer and then chucked an axe.
Yes.
Fuck yeah, man.
And on that note,
amazing.
I think we need to slide this conversation over to Marvel.
Right. Red
Yeah,
side
And
of
with
the aisle.
that, I'm gonna get out of this chair.
Oh,
And
wait.
you know what?
Guardians
Seeing
of the
as you're
Galaxy-
getting out of that chair.
I should change into my Loki costume.
Okay, so
Who are we gonna call him?
Marvel, they are in a great position, but also in a precarious now. Because
I'm gonna go walk
they're
the dog
producing
at this
really
point. I'll come
good,
back.
But they're becoming very saturated, and they're going to start becoming even more formulaic. It seems like.
Yeah, you know what?
Yes.
You had mentioned earlier when we were talking about the other stuff. A lot of these movies, they all felt the same to you.
Yes.
Like which ones in particular?
Well, let's see. The original, before Disney took over, you had Iron Man, which was, it was just Batman Begins with Batman crossed out and Iron Man put in. Iron Man 2 was okay. 3 was really good. But
a lot of people go the opposite way with it.
Actually, I don't. I think 3 is better than 2, but I would never go so far as to say 3 is really good.
I
was enjoyed when people in the theater were like, "What?
I was
That's
laughing
the
my ass
Mandarin?"
off.
I was too.
I thought it was great.
Because I never thought I was watching Iron Man 3. I felt like I was watching Lethal Weapon.
Well, they've also said
Well, it's Shane Black.
they've also
Exactly.
said that we may actually see the real Mandarin.
No. That
Yeah,
was
you're gonna
an apology.
It
That's all it was.
That was a cover.
Did you
in
see
our
the
ass.
short that they did with him in
That's
prison?
that's what we're saying. That was an apology. That's all it was. It was so shameless. It was
I
like,
wish what they were gonna do with that is that they were gonna take that and be like, you know what? This whole time he was just fucking with you.
like Ben Kingsley was.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he's just like, all right,
I would have been fine
let's
with
get to
it.
work.
I'm fine with either way they want to do it. Ben Kingsley's fucking awesome.
Ben
He's so good, and they just.
Oh my
fucking-
god, I love him.
Well, and that's one of the things that Marvel got. They got the actors they needed immediately.
Oh,
and
they definitely cast everything
Okay, so
correctly.
They hinged everything on Robert Downey Jr. Immense talent, troubled individual.
Yep.
I mean,
And answer to your
fits the role.
Yeah, he does.
No, right.
And
if there was anybody who was
autobiographical information on it with the Burger King burger at the end of Iron Man, and the whole the greatest thing I've ever tasted, which was so cool that they did that, and it was such a nice thing. And yeah, Downey Jr.'s swagger as Tony Stark helped propel Marvel to where it's at now.
But to answer your
the only
question as to
reason
why
for
all of them feel the same, they all have the same problem, which is they have shit villains. The entire Marvel film and TV universe has one good villain, and that's the Kingpin. Everyone else is shit.
You mean as far as performance?
Excuse me?
Tennant's role in Jessica Jones
He was no good.
amazing.
No, he was
Loki. Loki, L-O-K-I.
He was the only good part about that shit.
Oh, that's
I agree.
fantastic.
Holy shit! What is happening here?
We're talking about
Is no one gonna talk? Okay, Paul, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that.
Oh my god!
You're talking about Marvel villains? Is
My ears
Kingpin
are
the
bleeding
only good Marvel villain?
Yes, by all means.
Are you talking about like the entire
Mr.
works?
Sinister?
How can anybody not like Jessica
On
Jones?
film. On
You
film.
On film. Oh wow.
That's the problem I'm saying. Their
Okay.
villains are shit.
Is this
Okay, Loki's not shit. Loki is not.
Definitely.
Loki.
Yeah, Loki.
You know what?
You can't shit on Loki.
Honestly,
think
I
he's
like
great.
the idea of Loki. I don't think what's his name, Tom Hiddleston? Is
Yeah.
that right?
He's a beautiful creature.
I really don't.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's a bad actor.
Very well.
I don't think he's a bad actor, but Loki is an actual. You have to look back at mythology and the fact that Loki is yes, you do.
We're not.
Because that's what
We're
it's
not
based
doing
off
American
of.
Gods podcast.
It doesn't matter. It's still based off of the mythological god.
He's mischievous.
He's not mischievous enough in the movies.
No,
to me.
he's not.
And
Well,
that's
no, it's
well,
because he's
not-
working for someone else.
Yeah, he's not like playful mischievous. Like, tee
no,
Yeah,
but
he is.
but
Oh my
in
God,
his
mind
he
he
is.
again.
yeah, no,
Tee-hee.
no.
If somebody donates $30, he'll do it.
In his
Sure.
mind, he is. In his mind, everything Loki does is harmless because it's all a
Oh,
joke.
yeah, he's fucking
The
around
stabbing
with
out the
everything.
eye
But it's not like a
and-
child or something. He's just like he's fucking with people.
Right, but it's
But
still
it's-
play to him, and that
Yes.
didn't come off enough.
There are no real consequences to Loki. None. He thinks it's all funny. It's
Yeah.
a joke to him.
But he's not. I think it's because he's not being campy with it.
No. I think you can have fun and still be terrible. And terrible, I don't mean like bad, like this is not something I want to see.
Yeah, like the Joker.
You're treading
Like the Joker.
icy waters.
But not the
I think-
Nicholson Joker.
I think Tom Hiddleston gets by because he's very good looking and he's very charming.
And he can
And
act.
that's it.
I think he can act. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong.
Because
I
Loki-
think he's right.
If you haven't seen The Night Manager,
He has an army of fangirls who will do anything for him.
That
does.
as well.
So
Yeah.
does David Fox Mullen.
So
I
okay,
completely
Loki-
disagree.
Is that
I
Mrs.
think there's
Fox Mullen?
I think there's
That-
moments in
They haven't pulled off much of anything. They sure fucked up a lot. But from the
Zemo
from the
fucked up the Warmonger, fucked up Whiplash.
they fucked up Doom a bunch of times.
Okay, so
I-
here's
I-
the issue.
I
though.
agree on
Here's
Zemo,
my
that was
counterpoint to your argument about no good villains is that most of the Marvel stuff isn't really about the villains. It's about the struggle either between individual heroes or the struggles within themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the Marvel.
Yeah, the villains are more like a means to an end
Right.
than they are.
They're the MacGuffin
But-
of the movie.
But in my
Which
opinion,
is-
if you don't develop the villain, I'm fucking bored. That's why Daredevil to me is amazing, is because Wilson Fisk is an actual person. He's a character.
Oh, they did a great job.
D'Onofrio
with
was killing.
He-
I was
he's
down
also
for
so
he's
good.
written well.
that took a minute.
They made him
for me.
shy. He's shy in the movie.
I
again.
couldn't
so
believe it.
Sitting there staring at the painting, I'm like,
Oh, I love
No,
that. I ate
it
that
took
up.
me a while. I was like, what is this?
I ate that up.
I'm
I
not
was
sure
like,
about
this is
I-
great.
and they also
It was a
with their
great-
fair share. They had their fair share of anti-heroes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Punisher.
The Punisher is an anti-hero.
He was great. He was the best thing about
I mean,
season 2.
are we sticking strictly with Marvel Cinematic?
No, we can go all over Marvel.
Because-
Whatever.
because-
I definitely want to talk about the fact that TV's
Because-
expanding so much right
Because
now.
Daredevil, well, Daredevil's kind of. I mean, he's a hero, but he's just.
I would say out of the
But he has.
Defenders,
But he has.
The Hulk's an anti-hero.
right? I would say out of the.
Hulk is more like a force of nature.
I would say out of the Defenders, the one that's the closest to an anti-hero is Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
And I love Jessica
She
Jones.
was good. Well,
Oh, she's so good. But they are
Yeah.
expanding a lot with TV right now, and
Probably
I'm-
Jessica Jones. Is
a lot of people are worried about
characters,
Inhumans.
except the villain.
I don't really care about
He's
it.
the only person. He's the
Well,
only
here's-
person.
I guess
What?
I don't care about
Inhumans.
Inhumans.
I care about him in Shield.
So-
I didn't care about him in Shield.
Mike,
every
So I'm
The
not
one thing,
gonna
the one
shit on
reason
it.
I want to give Inhumans a chance, and it's completely biased, but Anson Mount is awesome. If you've never seen Hell on Wheels, he was the lead on the show, Cullen Bohannon, and
I
I
thought
didn't
that
even.
was the guy who played Potsy.
Oh,
he's great.
Yeah, he's Black Bolt in Humans.
So he
He's
can't
great.
speak.
I like him a lot.
That's
Yeah,
great.
but that's okay. He's got the
can't
gravity.
speak.
But he,
But
if
he
you
lets
watch Hell
her.
on Wheels, if you watch Hell on Wheels, he doesn't have to speak.
He's the next generation's Viggo Mortensen.
He's good.
So he's going to
very
be.
Okay.
So we're gonna see his dick in a shower fight.
Yeah, right.
What about the Shadow King?
I like the Shadow King.
He appeared in Legion, right? I haven't watched Legion.
Oh,
You need to.
Yeah,
me too.
it's
Because
I
they're
would say
all
yeah. Shadow
no
King.
villains.
Shadow King. Amazing.
an
Okay.
experience.
All right. Now you got
Shadow
my
King's a
attention.
rough one to. Like it takes a powerful psychic to even tangle with.
You
with
have to
Shadow King.
watch the
he
show.
fucked up, and like in the comics, he
It's
fucked
so
up
good.
Psylocke. Like big.
Based on everyone.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And actually, if you what was it? The one of the fucking best Marvel series of the last 10 years, Uncanny X-Force.
Mhm.
They have like in the final storyline of that. Sorry, spoilers. But like it's a new Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and none of the originals except for Sabretooth. It's got Wolverine's kid. I think Mystique's there too, and then they use the Shadow King. And the Shadow King lays weight like they pretty much just stand back and let him do his shit.
Well,
Because
Shadow
they're-
yeah,
King
he's
can
OP
go
as fuck.
toe to toe with Professor X.
I want them.
Yeah.
I want them.
Well,
to
that's in
raise-
Legion. Well, they
yeah.
meant sort of in Legion, where Shadow King was.
You know who
defeated.
Legion is, right?
I know a little bit about it. But
Supposedly, like we don't know how they're gonna work this
In the
into
books,
show.
he's Xavier's son.
He's Xavier's son. He's the reason for the death of Charles Xavier. At one point in time, he has him killed,
that part
and
of
it brings out
He was-
the Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah, so he's
which
the
is
catalyst for Age of Apocalypse.
such a great
they
series.
just brought him back in the comics, and he's got Professor X essentially.
Yeah.
So.
But the best thing about one thing I would love to see, and I mean they're gonna do the Phoenix whatever in this next X-Men movie. I think it'll be good.
Well, here's the thing. I think
It can't be
Fox-
worse.
They're
I
gonna
think Fox-
introduce the Shi'ar, which is
After-
great. But I want to
that-
see the phalanx.
Well, I
wanna
think after Fox's success with both Logan and Deadpool, hopefully they've gotten the hint and know how to
I'd like to
direction
change that up a little bit. Do we like? There's a common denominator now in the last since 3 since last piece of shit whatever that was.
Age of
Last Stand.
Apocalypse.
No.
You mean
X-Men Last Stand.
Oh, okay.
Simon Kinberg has either been a producer or writer on every X-Men movie since, and it's been a up and down the entire time. And granted, we're at a down right now as far as movies he was involved with. So,
I mean, in my opinion, First Class outshines all the other
I
X-Men
like
movies
First
by a
Class.
country mile.
all of them.
Yes, all of
Better than
them.
X2.
I like
X2 was very good,
X2
but
was good.
there's still a gap, in my opinion.
Which
I
is the last
liked
time
it.
we saw
This
X2 was
Don't get me wrong, I
awesome.
really liked it, but I
What's
just
up, Kara?
I was saying X2 was awesome because I love Nightcrawler.
yeah, he was a lot of fun. He was
Well,
very
and then he
well
disappeared.
developed in that movie.
that, and Brian Cox is just
Yeah. There's a villain for you.
Not Marvel, Fox.
Okay.
Well,
that's my problem.
I was throwing it out there.
No,
just-
not the Marvel. I mean Marvel Studios.
Marvel.
Right, and that's
Right.
why I was like, are we leaving it to that or?
Yes,
Well,
Marvel Studios.
Here's the interesting thing.
So because
Fox,
otherwise I would say Magneto's amazing.
Fox looks like they might be figuring things out with their Marvel properties. You
Yeah,
know?
by letting other people work on
By
it.
letting Marvel work on it.
Well, no, but also with Deadpool and with Logan, they've kind of found this. We're gonna dive headfirst into a certain style with these.
Yeah, I think
characters.
they finally figured out what to do with Logan.
Yeah.
Except, and now it's over.
Killing.
Well, they can do stuff with that.
Spoiler.
That could lead into New Mutants, and that could be interesting. But even with Deadpool, they decided we're gonna go all in on a certain style with this movie.
It seems like now they finally have the idea. Hey, let's have the balls to do what
That's
Marvel
it.
wants.
It's
Well,
balls.
let's go for adults.
It's the balls.
They didn't have the balls. Ryan Reynolds was pushing it forever, and then it took that footage being leaked for them to be like, "Oh, you mean people would pay for this?"
Right, but
Right.
now they
Yeah,
actually
you son
have
of a
seen-
bitch.
But
right,
now they've
they've
gotten
seen
the taste of it.
success.
You
Yeah,
can keep saying the balls, but they are delicate and outside the body. You
The
need
ovaries.
ovaries.
Either way, ovaries works as well.
Yeah.
But hopefully they get the hint and they stick to that
You can't say
idea. Of,
Ryan Reynolds
let's be
had the
gutsy.
ovary.
let's be
Yeah,
gutsy
yeah.
with our product.
Yes,
Actually,
especially
treat it the way it's supposed to be.
yesterday. Did I not say Marvel, like in certain areas, does not have the balls?
Right.
I was talking about we talked in the last conversation about DC's animation being superior than their live action.
Mhm.
Marvel, their animation sucks.
It does right now.
It blows. Like, well, at
They're
least as
kind
far
of
as
busy
all right,
working on
to
the
be
live action.
They're kind of busy.
Yeah,
But
I
it's still
would
a
rather
good
see kick-ass live-action movies than a weekly cartoon on Disney.
Yeah.
all right, but it's
Sure.
all right. No, but not
That's
Disney. They're
That's where they're on now.
I know, but
They're completely on
let the kid stuff be that. I meant
Yeah, they
like,
got Guardians.
but
they
I mean,
got
like
Spider-Man.
DC has their animation is more adult oriented.
Right.
You know
Where's
why?
the Marvel adult animation?
But
The
they
thing
need
about
to
DC
right
with the DC animation is they have nothing to do but go off of the comic and just be like, this is where we can do this, and this is where we can do it right. And you know, people want to
True.
see that live thing. For some reason, they steer away from it in the movies, and I think a lot of it's just played hard, and a lot of it's just too goddamn expensive. And unfortunately, they're not making. They don't. I don't think they have the faith that they're going to get it back. And Marvel doesn't care because like, they had an opportunity to do Devil in a Bottle or Demon in a Bottle.
Yeah.
And they didn't do Demon in a Bottle. They did a watered down Demon in a Bottle.
It's just really
Just
baffling to me
now we'll
that
never get it again because Disney will not touch that story.
it's just
Right.
really baffling to me that they're
But they didn't have to.
owned by
That's the point.
Disney, who is animation kings. You
But they're
can't,
not adult animation.
but they don't use those resources.
Check the
I-
Black Holder.
I think it's just a question they don't have to. They don't have to do it.
But
So
they,
they won't.
They use those
and that
recent
might be
talk
right
about
right now.
Frozen Moana.
but in an animated show,
they
they could
kill.
probably get.
Well, they kill it with Star Wars Rebels.
All right.
That's Disney.
Okay, in terms of adult animation, I'm not saying like in terms of Marvel, but there are shows that they had that are marketed for kids that adults genuinely like. They're like Starburst, The Forces of Evil, and Gravity Falls. Those are marketed towards kids, and many adults like them, which is very unusual. And the same can be said for Cartoon Network, which has Steven Universe, which has become one of the best adult animations that is not like for Comedy Central.
And I would throw Star Wars Rebels in that too.
I'm talking strictly Marvel.
Okay.
But
But it's Disney, is what I'm saying.
Right, but
You
it's,
can't say that
it's,
you can't
it's
say
their
their
Marvel
resources.
properties, though. Yeah, the resources, they have the resources to put together quality animation. But, yeah, Marvel, for some reason...
How do we know they're not?
properties-
Does anyone watch their?
I've seen their
Anyone
animated
watch
film.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
No,
I've never seen
I don't know.
Anyone watch
I,
Super or Spider-Man?
No.
Nope.
I've
Then we
seen,
don't know.
I've seen old versions of Spider-Man.
I mean, I
I'm
watched.
talking about the one.
Right.
I mean,
that
I
are out
watched
now.
Avengers.
They have an Avengers.
Assemble.
They have an Avengers cartoon.
Yeah, I watched
Is
it.
it
It's
any
not
good?
for. It's for
Avengers Assemble was pretty good for a while, and then they went through this weird storyline with Ultron and Red Skull working together, and it just went to shit.
That's a weird combination.
What does Ultron need him for?
That's a good
I
point.
don't know. I stopped watching as soon as I found out that they were going to work together.
You gotta,
Everyone wants to. Everyone wants to.
Well,
you got a red face. My son has a red face.
Spider-Man was
Ender, but
mentioned.
some shit. Yeah, it's going Ender.
Spider-Man,
However, to kill people. Sorry.
Spider-Man was mentioned, and Marvel finally got to take a swing at Spider-Man with Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, I see what you did there.
And I think they nailed it. I really do. I thought
Are
Homecoming.
you talking about Ultimate Spider-Man?
No.
Homecoming.
No, we
Oh,
just
Homecoming.
Sorry, Spider-Man
Spider-Man, I
got mentioned, so I wanted to
I haven't seen Homecoming yet, so I'm gonna walk away.
Okay,
so I don't get
that's fine. Without any spoilers, I
But
thought they did a really great job with it. You see Homecoming yet?
No.
I think it gave,
So
and Ian even said before he logged off how much he liked Spider-Man Homecoming, and he's never liked any of
I've
Spider-Man.
heard a lot of
Because they
Spider-Man.
let Marvel do stuff with it.
Right. Well,
And
and
Marvel loves that property.
finally, we've got a nerd with enthusiasm,
Young.
and his youth shows, and they did something which some people are going to grumble about because it's not canonical. They diversified the background cast a ton
Yes!
in this movie. And like Flash is, I don't know if he's Indian, but he's from.
I thought it was.
He's probably Indian. But yeah, they did just a great job with the casting of all the smaller characters, and just the enthusiasm. And without giving away the ending, Spider-Man's choices at the end are so great. It's so perfect, and it hits the character right on the head.
Without us ever having to have it actually hit us on the head with
Right.
Great welcome to everybody.
Right.
Your Uncle Ben's dead again.
Right.
We don't need
They
all
kind of
this.
used Tony Stark to give that same lesson, and it worked.
Yeah, where Tony Stark is put in the really bizarre place of father figure.
Which is so he seems uncomfortable with it.
It does kind of make sense, though.
Right.
I mean,
Well, and there's a bit
Over enthusiastic technical geniuses.
where
Yeah.
where I guess is it in Avengers?
I
No,
saw leaning in to go get the door. No, not a hug. Not a hug.
That's beautiful.
Oh, the Tony Stark thing. Where they sort of retroactively said that, or said that, I think at one point, Iron Man sees like 7-year-old Peter Parker in the crowd, and one of them.
oh, that's supposed to be Iron Man 2. The kid with the helmet that the drone aims at. Now they're saying, oh, that was Peter Parker. It's
Yeah,
like,
easy,
all right,
nice of you to
whatever.
say. I mean,
I'm sorry.
when you didn't have the rights to
Like
that.
we were saying that for Batman Begins, the little kid who gets the gadget. Oh, that's Robin. Okay.
Yeah.
See, he had a red shirt on. Of
But,
course, it was King Joffrey.
I was like,
but I liked it. I thought it was really well done, and I think
King Joffrey
it
Jafar,
puts
James Earl Jones.
Sony in a tough position now because eventually they're going to want Spider-Man back, and they're going to, with the way Marvel has started with Spider-Man, if they keep it up like this, and it goes back to Sony, Sony's gonna be like, well, what the hell are we supposed to do now?
I mean, Sony's already trying to feed off of this by getting Tom Hardy as Venom and Silver Cat and all this shit. They're already trying to
I
do
get
it.
that, but
I don't
they're-
understand why you would want to do a Venom movie.
I like Venom as a character. He's one of my favorites.
I understand.
I
but-
don't disagree with you, but do you guys remember the 80s movie War Games?
Yeah.
Oh
Do you
yeah.
remember at the very end where they're all trying to log in and Matthew Broderick is trying to log in? No, I actually know what to do. And every time he makes a little bit of progress, they take it away from him. They're doing the same thing.
Sony with Spider-Man, right?
It's like,
yeah.
here we go. Here's a little bit of progress. Okay, we got a Venom movie. No, fucking let me
I
do
want to
it.
see. You know what I want to see? I want to see Madam Web.
She is
She is, but we don't get to see that side of Spider-Man in the movies ever.
That's like a pure. That would be horror.
It would be. Well, if we go to Venom, that could take us down that road. You
I would
know,
like to see Venom done in a horror style.
Right.
Ugly, fucking ugly, incarnate.
It's the thing
Right.
that bugs me is that they didn't learn from the fact that the Sinister Six movie. What's the purpose of that?
Yeah.
What is your goal in having a movie where it's just 6 villains where you don't? Yeah, I understand. But here's and this is what I was going to talk about with the animation.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea for that. Okay. And it allowed and I think the rules are different with the animation. So characters that you don't have for the live action, you can kind of use in the animation, and it can be a supplement to the live action.
And you can do mini arcs and stuff too, which is
right.
Cool thing.
People can also donate.
Yes, donate.
Click the lovely button, would you please?
And help fund my idea for a Marvel show.
Yeah.
Which is just
a Sinister Six movie probably wouldn't be that good. And honestly, they made this mistake a long time ago with Spider-Man 3 when they clogged it with villains. They accidentally stumbled upon
Spider-Man 3, aka Batman vs. Superman.
Spider-Man 3 was the absolute worst waste of Venom ever.
Yes, it was.
Just like it's a waste of Doomsday in Batman vs. Superman.
They made the mistake. Spider-Man 3 stumbled on the same mistake that the older Batman films did when they started getting clogged with villains. The villains all had the same idea. Hey, let's team up and get Batman. They had no other plot other than let's team up and get Batman. And Venom and Sandman had that exact scene in the goddamn alley. Let's team up and get Spider-Man.
We were going to math.
Which one was that?
We were going out to eat.
Did that drive you crazy?
White gentleman who had the shirt.
I didn't care about
home after that because I as well.
Okay.
I just thought it was
And I donated.
Yeah, I know they, and because of that, Mr.
The original trilogy you always have is the best J. Jonah Jameson.
Yes. By leaps and bounds.
He nailed.
And now he's Commissioner Gordon.
He nailed Jameson. He nailed him. He was perfect.
And that's another thing. I would like to see them do the James Bond M thing. Bring him back. Just don't acknowledge
I
it.
would have
Right?
loved it.
That'd be great.
They can't.
Yeah, now that he's Gordon.
It'd be hard to do. Yeah. But it's gonna be weird, and it's gonna be, I don't know if it's gonna be good or bad seeing where Spider-Man goes from here because of this weird dynamic between Marvel and Sony.
I'm willing to bet that they are more or less. They can't. I don't think they're really all that involved.
Sony just needs to be like, here are all the properties. We're not going to sell them back to you, but we'll let you make the movies and we'll take part of the profits.
We'll take a percent.
Because they can't make a superhero movie. It's obvious.
They would, like, if they did that, they would make.
Sony can't make movies, period.
That's fair.
Sorry, Kara, what was that?
She said Sony can't make movies, period.
Oh, she's got an excellent
That's a
point.
very valid point. I mean, I like the Fantastic Four. I don't like the Fantastic Four movies at all.
I just have a question about Spider-Man: Homecoming since you guys have seen it.
I know Fox can make movies. Well, we
They
play Fox Searchlight.
Well, then they want to make another Fantastic
Was it
Four.
the Searchlight division that did Logan?
No, but that was one of those things where they were smart, and they, at least with the Wolverine movie, or at least the last two, with giving them to James Mangold, an actual honest-to-God director, auteur.
The problem is we can't apply the Deadpool and the Logan role to Fantastic Four anymore because they.
I feel like those are two different things entirely.
Exactly, because they don't have the same adults, you know.
Well, no, Fantastic Four is sci-fi. Let's be real.
Yeah.
It's sci-fi. And if they took a full-on
space for fuck's sake,
right,
off
if they
the
took
bat.
on a full sci-fi approach with Fantastic Four, it would have been better. And the problem is now they've had two failed attempts at it.
Not tech?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like they've had two failed attempts at it now, and they have to wait. Now you have to wait because it's got that super bitter taste in the mouth. You can't really go back to it.
People
right
thought it was like, oh, can't get any worse than the Jessica Alba
Silver Surfer movie was terrible.
And then this.
What was his name? The guy Trank, Josh
Trank.
God,
what
that
did he
movie-
do beforehand?
Chronicle. He did Chronicle, which was okay.
But it was visually, I think it was a little visually innovative, I think, is why they.
Well, most of it was handheld cam stuff. But Fantastic Four, the last one was shit. It was.
I didn't see it. There was no way.
I don't even. It wasn't even a superhero movie. It wasn't. It was just like, what am I watching?
It wasn't sci-fi. It was like the closest thing it got to was like David Cronenberg body horror shit.
I was thinking like what was it, The Cell? That it was.
With Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, with Jennifer Lopez.
Except that's actually a good movie.
Right, but it's got kind of that weirdness to it.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I don't get it. I didn't. I mean, I got it, but I didn't get it.
I got the cell.
Right.
I didn't get Fantastic Four.
Well, no, I got Fantastic Four, but I didn't get it. Like I'm like, I don't know why they're doing it this way. It doesn't work.
They made every decision wrong.
It did. It was rough. It was the it was
Is it as bad as Green Lantern?
that's what I was saying.
No,
It was the Green Lantern for Fantastic Four franchise. It was god awful. Yeah. There are one or two things you can watch Green Lantern and go, okay, there's nothing in that movie. I don't even know. But there's nothing in that movie.
The Green Lantern movie is in one eyeball, out the other. It was just, it was a flat line. It was kind of crap.
Right.
A Fantastic Four, I'll be honest, was fucking offensive.
It was.
It was shit. It was horrible.
To anybody that knows the story even a little bit.
Even the characters.
Right, even the
What
characters.
sucks is you leave Fantastic Four on the table. You leave Dr. Doom on the table. That's Marvel's best villain. If they could just bring him back, he could be a villain that would just, he could last, he could hang around, he would.
And that's the thing about they've had Fantastic Four has gotten some of the best villains.
Dr. Doom is a entire Marvel universe level. Like it takes
He can
every,
take
it takes
take
the
on everyone.
Avengers. It
Right,
takes
it does.
every like he's a Galactus level.
He can make time machines. He's a fucking sorcerer. He has his own Iron Man suit. He has duplicates.
He is Iron Man right now.
Yeah, well, literally. But his suit has always been like the exact same Iron Tech shit. I mean, it's
right.
So it takes everyone to just take him down. You bring him into
Like
the Marvel.
like honestly, you take if they for some reason they didn't have Thanos, right. In. You put the Infinity Gauntlet on Doom.
Oh God, that would be
it's
scary.
Oh my God.
You actually make him like the big overarching villain, and not even just a post-credit.
I don't know if
Make
you
him
can
like,
win. I don't know if you can win Infinity War if Doom's got the gauntlet.
Make him like the Blofeld of the
That's
Marvel
interesting,
universe,
yeah.
where he's not just the post-credits guy, but he's the guy.
He's the counter
pulling the
shield.
strings.
He's the counter shield.
Yeah, he's
That's
pulling the
interesting.
strings.
That's a cool
He
idea.
makes small appearances
That'd be
every now and then. He's a major.
He's Dr. Claw.
Yeah, but you never kill him. He's just
Next time. Sorry, I had to make that reference. It was there. But yeah, I don't know. And
I know you can't do that
what
voice.
is Marvel themselves?
Frank Welker's amazing.
That was him too.
He was everyone. In the
I know
goddamn
he was
80s.
everybody.
He
but
was
it-
Are we talking about voice actors now? Because that's
Race
my
stance.
thing.
That's just.
So Marvel is obviously not slowing down. Up next is no. I'm just kind of looking at what they have on
Oh, I
this.
thought there was another.
No, I'm sure there were because it's Comic Con this weekend, so everything's gets out. So they got Thor Ragnarok coming up next,
Can I
which looks really good.
Can I mention how much, honestly, just on principle, that movie pisses me off to no end?
Because the last
Ragnarok?
one sucked so hard.
No, I'm not even going with that. Just like, hey, I got an idea. We need to do a Hulk movie, right? Let's take Hulk's best story and give it to Thor. Fucking excuse me? No.
Okay.
Yeah, have you read Planet Hulk?
No, I haven't.
It's phenomenal.
I've heard that about.
It's the
I've heard
movie.
that.
The animated movie of Planet Hulk sucks ass.
Read the story. It's the movie Gladiator with the Hulk.
Okay. To be fair, I haven't read that.
Okay.
But to me, and I understand why that would annoy you. To me, just looking at the trailers for Ragnarok, it looks like it's going to be the best Thor movie.
I'll be honest. Hulk is not a character that holds my attention for an hour.
Right, but in snippets, it works.
They're right, but that story is one.
It looks like we're going to get more Idris Elba in this Thor movie.
Oh, is he? He's the gatekeeper.
He's a
Gatekeeper.
Heimdall.
Yeah.
Right? What's it?
Heimdall.
Heimdall.
And then we've got Black Panther, which looks pretty cool.
See?
Then Infinity War. And then Ant-Man and Wasp.
Now,
which
I could not care.
One, right?
I could not care any less about
yeah.
Ant-Man and Wasp.
I'm going Ant-Man and Wasp.
I'm looking forward to Ant-Man and Wasp.
I thought it was fun the first
I
one.
do not give a shit
I'm a
about
fan of Paul
Ant-Man,
Rudd.
the character. I never have.
I think Paul Rudd did a
Hey,
great
fun
job.
stuff. I get it.
I think Paul Rudd is a really great. I like Paul Rudd. I don't. I know there's knocks on him, and I understand them. I enjoy watching Paul Rudd.
Is
And I think he did a
Judd
job.
Apatow doing Ant-Man and Wasp?
No, I don't think so. So there's that. Then Captain Marvel.
Which Well,
which is
I actually
something
wrote I wrote a treatment for that because I
They're-
was like, I really want to.
they are behind. This is one thing that Marvel is behind on.
I hate the
with DC is woman leads.
Now, am I mistaken? Is that the Captain Marvel
Brie Larson
is the one that is directed by both a man and a woman? Like a husband and wife.
Oh,
Better be
yeah.
directed by a woman.
I can
Because I remember a lot of
IMDb.
people bitching about that.
What's that, Cam?
Better be directed by a woman.
Well, it's Brie Larson starring in it. I know that.
Which is awesome. She's awesome.
Yeah,
I
she's
know you guys
great.
are talking Marvel right now, but the Justice League trailer dropped.
Oh,
Yeah?
Is it good?
Oh,
Yeah.
Box, have you seen the new
Is it got
poster
better? Is
that
it-
looks
it
like
got-
Alex Ross style?
Yeah, it's
I love that one.
it's Anna
Oh.
Bowden and Ryan Fleck.
That's the one, yes.
I don't
That's
know.
what we
Oh, question for those who have seen Spider-Man: Homecoming.
That name sounds.
And then after that is an untitled Avengers film, which I would guess is I guess.
I'm guessing that's going to be New Avengers.
2019.
Holy shit! Oh, so that might be part 2.
I think it might be part two.
Wait, what movie?
Oh yeah, that's Infinity War Part 2.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. And then a Spider-Man Homecoming sequel.
It's weird. Why would it be untitled if it's just part 2?
I don't know. And
They
then
changed the name of the first one a couple times.
So is it just not? Is it just Infinity War and there's going to be something else?
Oh, yeah,
it might be like the Fallout.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah. I don't. Maybe just
Follow
don't
the
call it
Avengers.
Infinity War.
And then Guardians 3 is after that.
Woo!
Which
But Captain Marvel.
I think they said Spider-Man 2 was going to be like the first movie in the next.
phase.
Yeah, next phase.
Oh.
I don't follow the phases. I get it.
Speaking of
I don't really
Spider-Man,
follow the phases.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Question.
Yeah, question.
Okay, this simple yes or no question. I don't want spoilers since I haven't seen it yet.
They all die.
Yeah.
Anyways,
My question is, does Spider-Man: Homecoming change the canon of the Marvel universe? Yes or no?
Not in any major way.
Does it change things that have already been established?
It's more like Easter eggs.
Okay. Because
Yeah,
I've been hearing things on the internet saying that they change they literally go out of their way and just say the wrong thing that has already been established.
No,
I didn't catch anything.
I didn't
like
either.
That. Now,
Okay.
did they play with the Spider-Man canon specifically a little bit? Yes.
They played with Spider-Man and then weaved him into Iron Man, where you didn't know he was there.
Well, and a lot of people are talking about this is leading up to in Infinity War, Spider-Man wearing the Iron Spider suit.
You know, and that's why I wish they would have gotten this done earlier with the Spider-Man agreement, because then to do Civil War properly.
She died.
Right.
yeah.
I
think she's
mentioned
been-
Iron Spider and she flipped out.
I'd like to see that.
That would be cool.
That is
It would be really cool. Yeah, because he was the best part of Infinity or Civil War. He was the best part.
I would contend that a sleeper in that is the Punisher.
You gotta watch.
Like if
Are
you
you talking about the movie or the story?
I'm talking about
Spider-Man and Black
the movie.
Panther were amazing in Civil War.
Punisher, I did like it because one thing that really pissed me out there is that Mark Miller blatantly made it clear to make Frank Castle the next Captain America, and they threw that shit away.
Yeah,
They
that's true.
gave him a mock costume for like three issues, but that was just a powerful.
What I
statement.
loved about
That's
him
an
is
interesting
that
choice for Captain America.
no, but see, here's the thing.
He was
and
trying
this-
to make a statement.
Mhm.
So Punisher joins with Captain America
Okay.
in the sides,
He's on Team Cap.
and first chance he gets, he goes in and the whole rest of the team is like, fuck no, he's a murderer.
Yeah, he's crazy. What are you doing? And the captain's like, we could use him. He's a soldier.
He's pretty American
Yeah,
to
because
me.
he's like, but then, no, he's like, I relate to him. Like he's in Cap. But Cap admitted that he killed people before. It just,
Right.
But then
we forget it.
the first instance after that, they recruit two new villains on the Captain America side. Like, look, we want to fight you. This is horrible. That instant, it's almost it's comical. Castle pulls out his guns and shoots them right in the head.
Yeah.
And that's it. And they drop dead. Wow. And then that's it.
But it's not that. That's not what gets me though. It's the fact that Cap then like gets all up in Castle's face, is beating his ass. He's like, fight back. He's like, oh,
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight you.
because it's the one guy he respects above anybody.
And Spider-Man puts it perfectly. They're like, why wouldn't he fight? And Spider-Man says, are you kidding? Captain America went to World War II. Frank Castle went to Vietnam. he's probably the reason he went to Vietnam.
Yeah.
Right.
And he says same person, different war. And Captain America says, no, I'm not crazy.
Right.
Ian's
So
back.
it's that kind of that I would love to have the Punisher part of the film universe, and this is from the second they got all those characters back. The second they got Daredevil back, I'm online. 13-episode drama series. Thank you, I got it.
Right.
When they like Punisher, none of the movies have really worked out quite
Oh,
right.
no.
Give him a series. Give him a series.
I'm looking forward to that.
Doctor Strange.
Punisher was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I liked Thomas Jane.
I didn't
was okay.
mind it.
Awesome.
No, it was the Travolta character that made that so fucking terrible.
Well, Travolta tends to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, we
Except for when
mentioned
he's
Cap.
dragging him along.
Let's talk about Cap for a second because
You gotta wrap up.
yeah, I know. Well, you guys went over on DC.
No, that's
so
fine.
I
know.
know.
We're sitting right here.
Yeah, I know.
DC started late.
Anyway,
That's true too.
Go ahead, Nick.
talking about
Can you
Cap,
send me the trailer?
the one thing that gets people up in arms right now is the Hydra.
I'll give you the Alex Ross.
I think it's a brave choice.
I think it's a really interesting choice.
I always applaud brave choices, even if they're not.
I think it's interesting that they're like, he was always Hydra, and
Okay.
that's a misnomer, though.
Guys, it's an interesting story point, but I'm sorry, there's absolutely no other way for this to end. It's gonna just end being retcon. Like,
Well,
oh no, that was never the case.
It kind of has to be. It kind of has to be.
And
I
they've already-
hate the fact that they made him Hydra. I hate it.
Could we maybe see at some point?
Movie?
Well, that would be kind of fun if it was like that last Avengers movie. Like you have that turn, that would be cool.
Although there's no mention of Hydra.
Doesn't this
remember,
mesh up with?
Everything in the Marvel universe is connected. Hydra is throughout the whole thing. Hydra was.
I guess
in,
that could be an after credits
right.
where they.
Hydra was in Thor 2.
Were they?
That was the one with Hydra. No, what was the one with Hydra in it? Where they destroyed
No,
the...
they were in Thor 2. They were just in an end credit scene.
Are you thinking
Okay.
of Captain America too?
Yeah, it was Captain America 2. You're right. And they've been
where they had the Scarlet Witch.
right, and they've been in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is part of the universe.
They're all open.
Right. So we could see that. It would be interesting. One last thing I want to talk about real quick, and it was something we should have talked about before, is Marvel is doing a really interesting job of diversifying their superheroes by having people take on the mantles. And one of the first ones we saw just a while back was Miles Morales as Spider-Man.
What?
Any chance we start to see Miles Morales start to show up in any cinematic universe kind of thing?
Not with this Peter Parker being so young.
Tom Holland.
That's gonna be it would make it hard.
They
It would
would
be kind of
just-
interesting.
I think there's a You know what I think
We could
they
see
would-
it in Infinity War maybe.
No, you know what I think they will do is either like Homecoming 2, I would bet. What they would do is they would introduce him as like Parker's friend or whatnot.
I feel like we
and
got that. I heard that somebody told me like, oh, Miles Morales was in this, or his,
I
brother,
didn't- I
his
didn't
sister
catch
or
that.
brother. or something.
Well, I think what happens is we get him in as a side character in Homecoming 2,
Mhm.
and then something happens in Homecoming to temporarily take out Peter Parker. He's sidelined for whatever reason, and then you put Miles Morales in the suit for half an hour.
Get a little taste.
I don't
Yes,
know,
and then it
seems
goes back.
really soon.
It does.
It is, but a lot of people are
It
screaming
does,
for it.
but once again, I think Marvel's biggest problem right now, which is a good problem for them right now, is that they're going to get very bloated soon.
Well, I think
If they're not already at
You,
bloated.
you talked about how they diversified the rest of the Spider-Man cast. I
Right.
think that might be the stem the tide of maybe all the people clamoring for Miles Morales a little bit.
Maybe.
I
mean, I love Peter Parker. Don't get me wrong.
I
think
just
it'd
don't
be
want. I don't want to
interesting
give him up so quickly.
I don't think they will too. That's why I think it's just
Yeah,
gonna be
if I can throw in my 2 cents here.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think, given that the whole Spider-Man, if you want to call it the Spider-Man universe, has been in such a state of flux over such a long period of time, I think it would be ludicrously stupid for them to actually change it up so soon after a successful reimagining of the character. I think we're going to have to wait. Although I think a lot of the fans, and like I say, I'm not really a Marvel guy necessarily, but I think given the fact that the Tom Holland incarnation of Spider-Man has been, to my mind at least, been so successful, I think it would be madness for them to move away from that, at least in the next kind of 5 years.
Well, I think that's fine. I think you're right.
Yeah, if they're going to go anywhere from here, I want superior Spider-Man.
Well,
that's
okay.
Oh my God.
I agree with them, and that's why I brought up Infinity War, because I think that's the only time you can do it, because with the way Infinity War kind of works, you can play with reality.
You think the Gauntlet might actually?
They are going to play with reality because they brought Doctor Strange on.
Yeah, true. Doctor Strange being in there throws a whole element of chaos into the mix.
What do you guys think of Doctor Strange?
I like Doctor Strange. It wasn't my favorite Marvel movie, but it was a fun movie.
I thought
Same.
that was a little
Doctor
underwhelming.
Strange could have been just the third act and would have been fine.
I felt like the ending.
I do like
was
how
a
he
little
defeated the bad guy.
overwhelming.
Yeah, the third act was great, but the first two acts were fucking boring.
I feel like they have wasted Mads Mikkelsen, and I really hope that they bring him back.
Yeah, they wasted it so bad.
A lot of people are kicking and screaming for him to beat Doctor Doom, and I would love that to go.
He could be. Well, there's also a slight rumbling of them possibly bringing Hannibal back.
Actually,
Really? For season 4?
Yeah.
Please do.
Wow.
That was one of the greatest shows on television.
That show always made me want to cook.
That show was the most beautiful show I've ever seen.
You better be cooking non-flesh
that show on NBC.
Yeah.
NBC took some risks with some stuff. And
They actually they have
Well, that's
Brian
Brian
Fuller,
Fuller,
right?
right?
They're like, your show got killed someone, right? Don't swear.
Yeah.
What was the Brian Fuller show when they was with the pies?
Pies?
Yeah, it was him. It was Kristen Chenoweth.
The flowers.
Pushing
Up Daisies.
Pushing Daisies. Great show. Great show.
Yeah.
And Brian Fuller's kind of like NBC's Joss Whedon. Like we're gonna give him an opportunity and then we're gonna take it away. And then we're gonna give him an opportunity, we're gonna take it away.
Yeah.
Hey man, he's killing it with American Gods.
I like
Well,
the
right.
Guys a lot.
Well, that's because he went to Stars, which
Yeah.
is why his networks are losing things.
All right.
Which is why with my pilot, my show, I'm looking at Netflix.
And did you just laugh when Newsom brought up his pilot in his show?
Yes. I may have done.
I don't get it.
That's cool, Ian. I don't need it was gonna be a part for you, but now it's over.
Can I have a part?
Finish this up and just see like what
Yeah.
in the I guess in any of the Marvel, be it extended through other companies or whatever. What's the next thing you are most looking forward to watching?
Honestly, I'm not looking forward to any of the Marvel films. I look forward to the TV because I think Daredevil and Punisher, that's what's killing.
Oh, Defenders.
I need to watch the Netflix
I
series.
really-
I gave up.
Wait, you don't watch the Netflix shows?
No, I just haven't had the time.
You need to.
You need to get on that Daredevil.
I'm more worried about series of unfortunate events at the moment.
I have to say, personally speaking, again, coming from a not particularly Marvel point of view, having watched Daredevil and seen what they did with that, oh my goodness me! Particularly the first series, I would say the first season of Daredevil was staggering.
Yeah,
I mean, it's among the best TV I've ever seen, and I'm rating that along the lines of Breaking Bad and you name it.
I maintain
in terms of storytelling, which I think again, I harped on about this about an hour ago when I was talking about DC, but in terms of storytelling, in terms of visual storytelling, in terms of cinematographic techniques. In terms of stunt work, in terms of effects work, and in terms of using the TV medium to its best effect, I think Daredevil has absolutely 100% nailed it.
Yeah.
They redeemed a lot of characters in that show.
Yeah.
Kingpin, Daredevil, Punisher.
Elektra,
John,
not so much Foggy.
John Bernthal. I did like Foggy. John Bernthal's Punisher is better than the comic version. He's better than
You know what? So
anything.
many, he just kind of is the Punisher.
So many people were like, I don't know. And I'm not a Walking Dead fan, really, but when they said it, I was like, I looked at him and I was like,
And I was
just looking at John Bernthal, I'm like, fuck, he's the Punisher.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm looking forward to Locked In Defenders.
Well,
That's
I
gonna be
can't
great.
wait. I don't
think he's
think
gonna
do
make a
another
cameo.
like in a tight hallway, like going downstairs, badass ninja
Those
fight
long
thing
shots,
with
those are the
all
best.
of them. With
That would
all
be
of them.
great. Those are the most fun to watch.
But Luke Cage was the most pleasant surprise, like because it was like, I don't know what we knew what to expect with that.
And Mike
I'm
Winter,
eager to see Luke Cage and Danny Rand because those characters are traditionally really good friends.
Yeah.
They're best friends. They're the heroes for hire.
well, to be fair, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones are
I'd
really
like to
good
see
friends too.
Luke Cage.
Yeah, they're pretty good
I'd
friends.
like to see Luke Cage, redeem Danny Rand.
Yeah.
Sweet Christmas.
We need to like just combine the shows, make it a buddy cop show.
What was the Luke Cage and Iron Fist?
Heroes for Hire.
Heroes for Hire.
Yes.
Right.
Not that I
And
knew
I
that.
make that thing the whole agency too. Get Misty Knight in there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh shit! What if they introduced Moon Knight?
Oh my God, let's
I
talk.
would like that.
Oh my God! You didn't really just go to Moon Knight, did you?
What's that?
Rosario Dawson is amazing in all the Defenders.
I wish they would also put
She's
her
so
in
good.
every Marvel
Ian's been
movie.
triggered.
She's amazing. I think that's where we should end it. Marvel, more Rosario Dawson.
Oh wait, you didn't say what you were most looking for.
Oh,
No, let's end it.
You know what?
We don't care what
No,
Nick is looking for.
honestly, I'm saying looking for Infinity War, but I think Captain Marvel because
Me too.
it's something that's not what they've been doing.
And I'm going to tell you,
Yes.
like, if we at least get the origin, because her origin's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, and then we get the original actual Captain Marvel.
Marvel.
We get his whole thing, like, introduction to death.
Yeah.
Like, we get, so maybe that movie's not necessarily all about her at that point. But Brie Larson's fucking fantastic. The only thing I'm not looking forward to is that costume. I hate that
The
costume.
red and yellow one.
As long as they don't give her the fucking mohawk, I'll be.
I like Mohawks.
I don't want her. I don't want to see her.
We just saw a Marvel movie with Mohawk that was awesome.
Yeah, but I don't want to. Leave the blue face.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
But I don't want to. I don't want to see Brie Larson.
I'm
And
trash
I'm
for young
gonna wrap
and
up
done,
on Marvel
and I'm
because
proud.
People are being
Because,
antsy.
yeah, we're getting stink.
We didn't even get a full hour.
We're being kicked off the air, unfortunately.
Dicks.
I'm trash for young and
has been
proud
We
of
didn't get
it.
our full scheduled hour.
It's 4:11.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
but
what?
DC went an hour and a half.
When
So we
you-
started DC late.
Wait, I'm sorry. There was a DC and a Marvel?
Yeah.
So if you
Equal
agree with
time.
us being kicked off, please donate. Donate and keep us on the
We see how the
when
Emperor
the,
reacts
uh,
on this.
If you get $100, we'll let you do the rest to 6.
We mean
When
we
the owner-
I don't want to talk
I
Easter.
mean,
That's
I'm the
the
one. I'm gonna be putting negative money in.
We
To
talk
be fair, if we get $100, Fox has to have more hot sauce.
when the owner of the
How much is it
network,
for you to do the rest of the bottle?
when the
At
owner
once.
of the network is a DC fanboy, you've got to understand that you're going to get booted off when you're talking Marvel.
No amounts.
What-
No
what-
amounts worth it.
You know what it would cost? It would be an emergency room copay. That's how much it would cost.
Yes. Well, I don't know. How's your insurance, Fox?
700.
So what do we have next?
Depraved by the Bell.
Oh,
Compared to
Would've been-
Marvel,
But just don't
I will.
I'd forgotten all about
I'm going to slide over so Elizabeth can sit in the middle.
Because, oh my God, am I excited for this?
Oh, plus that chair is not that comfortable.
Well, it's
I know.
only.
I've been sitting in it all day.
Well, then I'm gonna take Paul's chair.
It's only.
Yay, another
how many
girl!
hours?
A girl?
Wait, this was supposed to be the.
12 hours later.
Yeah, this is supposed to be.
Strong, independent woman who don't need no man.
Never happened.
Well, now it's happening.
No. And
Is
I
that the
forgot.
Krahulek?
I forgot all about it until just now.
Is that what?
It's the Krahulek.
I don't know what that means.
Are you joining? Now this is weird.
The Krahulek is joining us.
Because I don't want to sit on there.
Is it? I'm probably watching.
I already have
Another
a sit on
chick.
the chair. It's not fun.
It's not the best. I mean, I can be loaded. It just seems weird that we both be on the same side.
Not necessarily. We just tilt the camera.
I'll sit down in a second. My tail will hurt, so you just gotta stand up.
Your vestigial tail?
Yeah. My other arm.
Take out this end chair. Let's see.
I've got to say, folks,
It's more comfy. I've been holding chair.
Kara or Ian, do you ever watch Saved by the Bell?
All right, you know what?
yes,
was
I
before
did
my
watch Saved by
time.
the Bell.
I'll go.
I know it's before your time, Kara. They have syndication.
I have to say,
How dare you?
it's a real delight to be able to see
Sunny delight.
some boobs on the screen that are not man boobs.
Hey.
Yeah, you're welcome. Real boobs.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
I thought you were pointing at your face when you said that.
I was saying right here.
My eyes are right here, Dave.
Sexist.
Excuse me, Ian? Oh wait, I'm underage. You can't talk.
I've seen what I'm saying is I've seen too many man boobs on screen today.
Hey Ian, if I try an English accent, will you guide me on how to make it better, or tell me how?
Should it be a Scottish accent if you're trying it?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I'm not actually English, but I will guide you. Yes.
I can't do a Scottish accent. I can't even do a British one. But I feel like Ian might be my closest.
What's the ones that? Oh no, it's the French
All right,
one.
go for it. Go for it. Elizabeth, I trust you. I trust you. I will do my very best to guide you.
Yes. Okay. So, what should I say in British?
Watch
British
out
is a language now.
Watch out for that lorry. Watch out for that lorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Watch
Okay.
out for that lorry.
Is that the only sentence you can say?
No, I asked Nick what I should say. I mean, I could say the Star Spangled Banner, but I feel like that's a bit ironic.
Yeah,
Okay. If we're going English, then you probably want to go more. So, watch out for that lorry.
Okay. Watch out for that lorry.
Okay. Yeah. You put more awe into the lorry.
Oh, less awe.
Lorry. It's a shorter lorry.
Lorry.
If you're going
I
for a
can
sort
only
of,
do
if you're going for a
Moaning
sort of more sort of
Lorry.
south of England sort of thing, you want to go for a sort of a shorter vowel sound, you know.
Oh yeah, like lorry. Lorry.
I
Oh my
wish I
goodness
could
me.
do an English accent, but it always turns into an Australian accent. I can only do Moaning Myrtle.
It does. I can say two things in Australian. One is rise of lights.
Rise of lights.
Rise of lights.
Rise of lights.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you want to watch out for those rise of lights.
Rise of
Keith
lights.
is gonna text.
Cut you like a knife.
And the other is give it a go.
Give it a go. Yeah.
Yeah, give it a go. That's the only other thing I can say.
That sounded
gosh.
British.
Give it a go.
Harry, if you die down there, you're
Yeah.
welcome to share my toilet.
I think everyone's my dad.
I can do a Midwest American accent.
No, you can't.
You're very good at that one, I've heard.
Go eat your baby. Maybe the dingo ate your baby.
I should go full on Scottish for the rest of the evening.
Just start speaking in Gaelic.
Wel, gyd yn tosio fy brins Gaelic yn ymwysio hon. Hoshi mi ddysio yn y betrai news.
Okay, I shouldn't have said that.
Ian, that was awesome. I
beautiful.
watched that Amazing Race show. I love Amazing Race mainly
Yeah.
because
I used to watch it.
I don't leave the country, and so to watch other people leave the country is exciting. And they had to recite a prayer in Gaelic, and I was like, damn, it was complex and complicated, and it was gorgeous. And also, these people were totally off. Like they're putting the subtitles at the bottom, and these people are instead of saying like, "Oh Holy Lord," or saying like "My salami sandwich." It was hilarious. I loved it.
My salami.
Oh, miel vai crash. Sorry.
No, keep going.
That was beautiful.
Well, I've got my guitar here. I can certainly sing, but I don't know if
I
necessarily.
still want us to do the duet.
Oh, we can do that. We can do that. It's just online is really not the way to do that.
No,
because,
I'm talking about like recording, and I was gonna put it on YouTube and credit you.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
well,
absolutely fine by me.
And I would like Ian to continue singing the song that he just did because that was really pretty. What were you singing?
Just singing the Star Spangled Banner.
I was gonna say no. It sounded like Amazing Grace.
It was Amazing Grace. It was an Amazing Grace in Gaelic.
Okay, just like a verse of it. That would be. I'm very excited by this. Please.
Hang on a second. I just I need to find some lyrics here. Okay, here we go.
Oh, you could make them up. We wouldn't know.
Just Google Translate.
Oh, mir vai crash nach briaenio shel varax me chal الشقران طرخ Gunjarst guntroth Shegas Gelsulentau. There you go.
Pretty.
Nice. Wow.
Oh,
All
Ian.
that was missing was bagpipes.
Oh my gosh, that was gorgeous.
My cat's
Send
on
money.
him.
Send money. Make him do that again. Wherever the money people are, send the money.
Yeah,
My money is-
DVMPE.com.
My dad donated.
Donate. I'll sing
I
another
want-
verse in Gaelic if you donate money.
I'll
Nice.
sing Mulan in Chinese if you donate.
I can sing in South African. That's about it.
I can
Really?
I can sing the end
I
of.
swear to God, if you sing Lion King, I will laugh.
I don't know what those words are.
Fair enough.
I just want to point out that you were here earlier today,
Yes.
and I forgot that this is the same day. I have to go do 2 shows after this.
And what did I
Me
tell
too.
you about that?
Would you like
I said
some?
I did that 2 years ago, and
I
I
did.
almost didn't make it.
I did 2 shows. I slept for 5 hours. I came here, did 90 minutes worth of podcasting, went and bought a car with my dad without buying a car,
Yeah.
and then came directly here.
Hour 45 minutes sleep.
Yeah.
What was the car?
So my dad wanted a 2017 Frontier. It did not work out today, but it will work out another time. I'm not worried about it, but it was a really, I was telling Patrick, it was a really nice day. Like my dad and I like super bonded. It was really fun. Like we got along the whole time, and
James Superball.
he was telling me stories about the Navy and not like
In the Navy, you can sail the 7 seas in the Navy.
Nobody knows the rest of the song.
Anything you guys
No, they don't.
gonna do your thing.
You can set your mind at ease in the Navy.
Conversation if it starts to get heated. Each person is allowed 1 timeout. Everyone and listen.
How long does
Confession time. I only know In the Navy from the Muppet Show.
That's interesting.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, I only know, well, tying it back to this, I only know that Meatloaf song that, how am I supposed
That's not
to live
Meatloaf.
without you? Who is it?
It's Michael
That's
Bolton.
Michael Bolton.
Okay, Michael Bolton. I don't know. They're all white
Not
men.
that-
Meatloaf. Michael Bolton, same
No,
thing.
but I know that song from Saved by the Bell, the episode
I
where Kelly and
honestly,
Jack
I
went.
heard the song on Saved by the Bell long before I'd ever heard the Michael Bolton.
Yeah, that's
Is
exactly,
that
it's literally
was
what I
Michael
just said.
Bolton that used that song?
Literally.
Huh?
That's the song they used when they broke up?
Oh yeah, so Jesse
Yes.
and Slater are singing at the prom because the band, like the DJ, like
Singing.
couldn't like bail
All
or
of a
whatever.
sudden, Slater comes up from the drums, never fucking said a word,
Yeah.
and now he sings.
Supposed to live without you. That and like the Friends Forever.
Yes. I don't know what that's a real song outside of it.
I don't think so. I think it's just Saved by the Bell.
It wasn't.
You know what song should be a real song outside of the show? Oops, California.
Fair warning, there's an acoustic guitar in the premises.
Best sitcom breakup song in the history of ever. Family Tie. When she leaves, it was, what do you think I would do at this moment? That song was never near a hit. And it was around for like 5 years, and then they used it in the thing. It sold so many freaking copies.
Well, Michael J. Fox, did he ever break up with Courtney Cox's character? Because then they could have just played Dancing in the Dark.
Right? No, the girl that he ended up breaking up with is his wife now.
Oh, that's right.
They're married.
I thought it was to say about the Bell thing.
No. Oh, it could be. They sounded very like. Yeah, they get up and make it up. Oh my gosh, when I wake up in the morning and my alarm gives out a warning, I don't think I'm gonna make it on time.
I'm glad you're here.
Riding low in my chair. Don't know that I'm there.
No, you that's
I grabbed myself a book. I grabbed my book and
Give myself a look up.
And get outside just in time to see the truck. I guess drive by.
All right, you know what I can say about that.
It's just that first part where it sounds like he's mumbling.
If the teacher popped it till I said, no, I'm in a mess, and my dog ate all my homework last night.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just singing the song.
Maybe tomorrow it'll be alright. It's alright, cause I'm staying by the bed.
What's that song from?
I believe this is going to be a show. It's not at the beginning or whatever.
Yeah, I want to
Well, now it's done.
Well, let's talk about it.
All right.
Okay.
What are we
So
talking about?
Zach Morris.
we're talking about how Zach Morris is an opportunist.
Duh.
He's a womanizer.
Duh.
He is.
I still think he's running.
No, I maintain that he is a sociopath.
I don't think Zach is a sociopath. Remember,
That's your argument.
he is.
What do you-
yeah, present your
Exhibit A,
argument. All right.
the Teen Line episode.
Please describe the episode in detail.
Okay, so a bunch of well-to-do kids in a pretty well-to-do high
Well
school.
to do.
Uh,
There was Screech Powers was in the mix.
No,
Yeah,
Screech was
that's
not.
people know.
Screech did not answer the phone.
Screech was a robot.
For some reason,
No, I
Screech was
know
in
my
charge of an
I
orphan.
kissed one.
Okay.
No, wait, it was the Big Brother program, and there was that Nuisance Kid, not Nuisance Kid. That would be weird because that would
Possibly.
that would make that very young when that did.
Possibly.
Yeah, so Screech wasn't giving advice to anyone.
Right.
So, and mind you, the Teen Line exists in the alternate reality of Saved by the Bell, where Jesse and Kelly aren't there.
Right,
And
they
they're
don't
replaced
exist.
by Biker.
Tori was played by Tristan.
I did not know
No,
that.
Tori was played by one of the triplets.
Is that pre-Jesse Kelly?
I am IMDbing the crap out of this right now.
No, Haley Mills.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's played by the little girl from Paramore.
Wait,
that was
is
hold
she
on.
related to Lane Mills?
Why are we all yelling?
that was originally on WGN, and then NBC bought it, and they got rid of Haley Mills and brought
Right
in-
about that.
Well, and also
Yeah, but we're
it,
not
was,
talking about that.
it was set in Indiana.
We're talking about the time.
We're
when
talking
Tori
about
was on
after
the show.
Kelly and Jesse have been established,
Right.
and now they were gone.
I'm sorry, I'm just so excited.
And I just can't have it.
Wait, what about Steve?
Where's Vox? Why is Vox off camera? We need to see more Vox.
Now it stands.
That is a
Hold the-
Oh,
different.
there's some exhibits in that season.
She was the Scientologist when she got that role.
She was. She was. I was.
But this
I
is
had
just
crush on
this
her.
is just mostly
Me too.
this
Leah Remini?
this
Hell yeah.
conversation is as it relates to Zach's love life and how he needed to fuck every girl he ever met.
I don't think Zach was a virgin.
I think he's still a virgin.
Well, no, he got married to Kelly Kapowski, so we
I don't think
he's
they
not.
consummated.
I don't know. Did you ever see the honeymoon in Vegas?
I just
Where
feel
he's-
like
Where this must have been after Tiffany Amber Thiessen's implants or something, because he's just staring at her chest the entire
I feel like
you
Zach's
can follow
ego,
his eyes whenever they're in the scene.
I just feel like Zach's ego is so large that his penis is inverted.
Well, maybe, but the pursuit it was definitely was always in effect.
I didn't say Mark Paul Gosselaar, I said Zach.
I have a question at this point. My question being,
Wait, hang on.
what possessed us to make this the last 2 hours of the 24-hour Podathon?
I'm running out of fumes, that's fine.
This was supposed to be last night at midnight, and then it didn't happen. It got bumped. This was supposed to be what we pitched, what we finished with, and handed off to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is the problem here that Vox is too drunk to do anything else at this point?
I am absolutely fine, sir. Thank you.
Yes,
very
No,
much.
you are not. I know you're not.
Vox hasn't been on camera in 2 hours, but
He's
I'm pretty
about
much
as okay as I was last night.
Yeah, right. Exactly. He's about as
No.
okay as you were at about let me say about 9 o'clock UK time for you, after you've been up for like 25 hours.
Look at
It's
it.
a big boy.
Look at it. It's right there. You see it? It's like right there.
Oh, there it is. Look
I'm
at it.
fine. I'm
It's right there.
But anyway,
Okay,
Love
Zach
Line.
Morris.
the Teen Line.
Teen Line.
So
Sorry.
Tori, because by all accounts she's a nice girl.
Yeah.
She comes in with her leather jacket. It's a gruff exterior, but she means well. She mentions, I guess there's a surplus in the school's fucking budget for the first time ever. And
yeah, as a school teacher, I can tell you that never happens.
Right. Well, Mr. Belding, for some reason, just asked the students some fucking activity they want to do, and of course, it's all of our cast members and then like one nerd. And
was it that one nerd that became kind of
Pete?
a regular? Yeah.
Pete Stonebreaker.
Is that his last name? Stonebreaker.
I think that's what they called him. Well, he was in the Malibu Sands, but not as for some reason they found him at the Malibu Sands, and then he eventually went to high school.
He was the Sand.
And so are the days of Pete Stonebreaker.
You should just go take a nap, Nick.
Look at Deuce is over here. There, are you still awake?
Yes. Okay, somebody make a team line.
Because on Tori's suggestion, she's like, man, my last school.
I'm awake. I'm just getting comfy.
We did this thing called Teen Line, where kids call in because they're troubled and they can talk to us, even though, like, other than, well, you assume Tori has actually had experience with this, because otherwise, why suggest it?
Well, I think she must have had experience because she wears a leather jacket, and that is a sign of trouble in a Saturday morning sitcom.
That is true. That is a fact.
And Lisa, in a much earlier episode, did that advice line.
Yes, where she solved everybody's problems and the money stopped coming in, so Zach Morris started paying her more to not give good advice, so that they call in and give more money.
No, what happened? She refused to.
No.
She refused to do that, so he fired her.
Oh yes.
And then he started giving out bad advice. Oh, was that?
And he was Australian, remember? Like, it was Kelly's sister was in love with Zach Morris. And she called the team line, and he got confused between who was Kelly and who was Kelly's sister, and he's like,
you're the Kapowski I want to be. I want to bang.
But he's like.
I want to. Oh.
It was like.
I want to be.
It was like Team Talk. This is what was his name? Oh my God! I just had it.
I did too.
Nitro.
I was thinking it was the name of an American Gladiator, and I picked the wrong one. Yeah. I was thinking Malibu.
He's like, this is Nitro, and she's like, hi Nitro. I'm in love with my boy who's older than me. I don't know, blah. And he's got both of them on the phone, and he gets to Kelly, and he goes, he sounds like a loser. You should dump him. And hangs up the phone, and Kelly Mouse is like, all right, gonna dump Zach Morris every episode for 6 seasons.
She should never have let him forget any of it. But she does. But she's a nice girl. So, and that's why Zach has to screw her over constantly. And she wasn't around in this particular one, so they just figured rehash that storyline.
Makes sense.
I feel like this is not a rehashing of that storyline.
No, you're right, because Zach has gotten even worse as time has gone on.
Well, no, because I believe
his hair got douchier too as time went on. I'm not sure.
Blonder and douchier.
And
well, yeah, but he had like the roots showing at some point, and that was like,
I don't know, is it any douchier?
Always black or brown.
Yeah.
But
he's Asian.
What?
He's Asian.
What?
Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Is he?
His mom's Asian. They dyed the crap out of his hair.
I was gonna say this may have changed everything.
Well, to get further ahead in this I believe this is the episode where he talks to the girl over the phone, and he's like, "You're great," blah blah blah, and she comes in and she's fat.
No. We're gonna get to that one.
That's an episode.
We're gonna get to that one.
That's
no. This is the one where she's in a wheelchair.
Yes.
There it is.
So not only is he supposed to be giving advice to kids, and he just tells her how to stay out later, so her parents don't know, because he's a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, he's like, turn the clocks ahead.
But not.
She turned him ahead 3 and made her dad late for work.
Yeah, but not just that. He decides to take this opportunity to have a date with a girl who's. That's not what they called for. You prick.
Yeah.
But this is typical for a lot of guys.
He's an opportunist.
Time out. It's not typical for a lot of guys. It's typical for some guys. I don't have that problem. So, donate. Time it.
So
Wait, how
it's
many of
not
those do we get?
One.
You
You
have
want
to
to pretend that they
use that
don't
on
have
the ward.
it, like the rest of the cast.
You're supposed to ignore it.
What?
You just keep going.
Okay.
And like you accidentally hit somebody else in the face, that kind of a thing.
And I'll get to that too if we have time. There's so much. So when he,
Well, we still got
so
24
when he,
hours left.
so, so when he,
I'll kill you. I'll kill you on stream.
We have less than 90 minutes.
so when he meets her at the Max, and they're talking very nicely, and at the end he goes to get up and like, oh, I'd really like to see you again. It stands up like, whoa, you're in a wheelchair.
Ian, don't floor it.
Sounded like he was like, he was a little shocked, but
I understand, but then
I love how you're playing devil's advocate on this.
that was going to be his role. He was going to do that. He's going to do it from
I'm
afar.
just saying, like she didn't say anything.
No, but that's one thing. That was at the commercial break. When we come back
What commercial break?
at the show, on the actual show,
Not on the
this show.
Podathon.
Gotcha.
We don't have breaks here
No, we don't.
unless Ian wants to take over. No,
Da, 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 it's the Ian Show.
perfect.
way to go, Ian.
But the whole rest of the episode, he basically takes the opportunity every chance he gets to just make her feel like shit about being in the wheelchair.
No, I mean, I think he overcompensates. So like he takes her to the movies and he is at the top of like the ramp or whatever to go down to a seat, and he's yelling at the concession, like the box office guy.
No, he's not yelling. He has to. It's the way he does it. He talks to everybody, like the person who's sitting in front of them, like, "Sir, can you please slouch down? My date's in a wheelchair." He tells everybody as if it's not readily apparent that he has to point out to everybody, "Oh, she's handicapped."
Right.
No shit,
It's
fuckhead.
like walking around like, you maybe not sit right there. My girlfriend has chlamydia. You know, like,
So now Nick
Do I have to keep
has-
doing this, Fox?
now Nick is,
And we're done.
now Nick
Good night,
is
everybody.
Bye.
Are you saying chlamydia is a handicap?
She goes, time out.
I mean, it can be the same, but not at the same level, obviously.
All right. Well,
I'm just saying, when
Glad
it
to see that.
starts, he goes, why does she have to pay, a full price ticket when she's not using one of your seats? And he's like, everybody has to pay to see the movie. She's like, and he's like, there's no handicap parking, blah, blah, blah. It comes from a good place.
does it?
Yes.
But
Yes.
but he goes out of his way to like point out to everybody how inferior or handicapped she is.
He's a California teenager. He's literally living up to what we all generally expect of him.
I think he should attempt to be a human being.
As an adult, of course we want him to be more respectful and to
I'm
be
wait.
understanding.
Let's not throw everyone at this table in the adult category.
All right. So that's
Just because you nothing. Essentially, just because you do.
so that's just the
He's a teenager. He's gonna make it. I think he's supposed to be learning these things.
But is
The audience is supposed to be learning these things.
He
But
is
this
the
is just
real life
merely just one. If this were an isolated incident, fine. But it's not. You brought up the fat girl.
That one was he was
who
pretty
win-
bad.
Who
at that
wins
one.
the auction? Okay, now we're getting on board.
No, I still support Zach Morris, but as a morbidly obese woman, I just want to point out that there were some problems that I had with that one particular episode.
And did he learn anything?
He did.
No.
Well, he did because he danced with her.
Pity
And then
dance.
he learned-
He pity danced with her,
which means he learned everything.
and even at first, she's like, "Fuck you, dude! You totally screwed you." I paid. I don't know how much you paid for that.
$500. It was like $100 or something.
It was for
$500.
for a high school.
Remember,
for
because
a
it was
high
like
school student.
$30, $40, $70, and then all of a
It
sudden
was
it's like
outrageous.
$500.
Yeah,
And
I think it was.
What?
But he learned the power of forgiveness when she forgave
No,
him.
no.
No, what I think what he thinks he learned is that the ends justify the means.
Yeah, what really happened here, Nick, is that once again his charm and good looks got over her, and And even though that she rebuffed him at first, he's like, nah, come on. It was like more.
To be fair, I think what we really learned from Saved by the Bell is despite the machismo and the chauvinism, AC Slater was just a much better human being than that.
No question.
Yes and no, because I was gonna say there's definitely so maybe that's the angle, is that I believe that AC Slater is not only a chauvinist but a sociopath.
No,
and here's why.
Wait, you think Slater?
Yes.
See, that's fine.
Actually,
Let's open up the.
Yeah,
that's
we can
fine.
make an argument for every single one.
Yeah,
Not Screech.
why don't we diagnose each of
Not
them?
Kelly. Not Kelly. Kelly was as pure as the driven snow.
Oh no, Kelly is not only codependent, but
That doesn't make her a
She's very
sociopath.
she's codependent.
Look what she had to deal with.
Okay,
And she's
I
also-
think actually there's something we're learning here, like some specific lesson that we are learning here.
From our conversation.
Yeah, I believe that the specific lesson that we are learning here is that if children of the 80s and 90s got access to a TARDIS, we are all screwed.
That's true. That is true.
That's very true.
I would have done what they did in that one season, for the first episode of one season with the Matt Smith doctor. I'd have killed Hitler.
You know what? I'm desperately wanting to like green screen out that black background that you have behind you and put in like a quarry in Wales.
I'll be in the hallway of Bayside.
Ooh.
And I'll put Nick in a locker.
Can we green screen me into Miss Bliss? Because that would be awesome.
Like just into her?
Yeah.
Good morning, Miss Bliss.
Like the movie Inner Space, but with Miss Bliss.
Oh, what you meant like coitus?
I was gonna say, is Nick trying to invent AI rape? Is that what you're trying to do?
I already used my timeout, damn it.
And he already used the one.
Yeah, look at you. Time out real quick.
Oh wow. We went there? Oh, of all the places we could have gone, we went there?
I just heard coitus and was very confused.
Okay, so Slater, I feel like one of the biggest instances is the death of his chameleon Artie. Okay, so in the episode,
Are you saying I'm gonna guess. Are you saying he set Zach up to fail?
yes, so here's what happened was. Artie the chameleon, they all get this assignment, who's your best friend, and they all have to write this thing. And Kelly Kapowski, the wanker of Fleet Street, is like, she is the worst. She's a fluff ball of nothing, and I don't like Kelly Kapowski. She's just the worst. So she comes out and she's like, my dog's my best friend, and AC Slater's like, boo, from the back because his chameleon's dead. First reason why I think he's a jerk. But second of all,
he's grieving. Jesus Christ.
No.
Kid was just murdered by these people.
Murdered. So
murdered.
So
and they made shoes out of it.
It would have been alien. They could have anything out of it. So
they made a friendship bracelet out of it.
Oh my gosh. He asks them to watch Artie while he's at some wrestling tournament. And
he's
it becomes this whole thing where Artie dies, and they're not sure if it's because of the open window with the draft, or it being under a hot lamp, or not having enough food, or whatever it is. All things that you take care of a pet. And they start having these like nightmares about what killed Artie. Each of them having their own nightmare, where AC Slater plays Artie the chameleon and is like, "You killed me with that lamp."
So you're saying it's his fault that they dreamt?
Yeah,
I'm saying that he used his own manipulation to control their dreams.
I'm basing this in what is you can reasonably.
I think this is reasonable. We literally saw dreams of AC Slater as a chameleon, not as Artie the chameleon coming back. This was not a guilt dream. This was an AC Slater dream.
AC Slater was dumb as the box of
How
rocks.
do they all get the same Artie with AC Slater in it? Because he manipulated the
It's
dream.
environmental.
He touched their subconscious.
The only person who does any sort of mind games is that.
I thought you said they touched their sub crotches, and I was very concerned.
Yeah, there's the crotch, and then there's the sub crotch.
Yeah, a whole lot of friction.
Wait a minute.
You want to be
I wanna-
reaching the sub crotch.
Because you're arguing Zach is a sociopath, and you're arguing Slater is.
I've got a whole bag of examples.
There is
You got a whole bag of
only
stuff.
one of them
A whole bag of some crunches.
Manservant under the guise of a best friend. Exactly.
Kara's tired.
He does. Screech does his bidding.
That's in the
Screech
new
does-
class, and nobody cares about that.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
No.
Screech did whatever Zach wanted him to do. Always.
He was his best friend. He was his
Ian's like dying over what I said.
Yeah, he was his ring.
Right?
Quite literally.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but AC Slater could control everyone else around them.
How? Why? Because they liked him?
Because he could, yeah,
Because they genuinely liked him?
He was not likable.
No, he like threatened.
They thought he
people
was
on a regular basis.
They thought he was gonna die, and they threw him a going away party.
They felt bad for him because he had to move around as a kid.
Yeah, see,
His
that's
name was
the
Albert
difference.
Clifford, for fuck's sake.
That, but that's the thing. They thought he was gonna die.
I always
He
thought it was
knew
air
he wasn't gonna
conditioning.
die, and he let people go along with it.
Zach started it.
Yeah, but he did not say anything, which proves that he's not a
It's all
good person.
It's all
and
very
he's-
Mark Twain.
It's all Zach's fault.
Is
I
it frog
think
jumping
that
or what?
the jumping army bases
What?
did
The frog
something
jumping?
No, the
to
pretending
Ace's
to be
brain.
dead and them having a party.
Oh,
He didn't have
that's
friends.
actually true. Yeah.
Okay, Zach
Yeah,
doesn't really have
fuck,
friends
literally.
either. He only all Zach has are people that he can get things from,
And a cardboard
My cat
cutout.
just left off me. I'm sad
and that's
now.
not disturbing.
That's really disturbing.
I feel like if you don't have cardboard cutouts of your friends, you're not really doing friendship right.
I think we're missing
He wasn't
the point.
even really friends with her at that point. That was at the beginning of the high school years, and he was just like, she sort of knew him.
I think we're missing the point.
And
of
how the
show.
hell did he get it? Like, where did he get that? He had to have taken that picture, right?
No, it probably was from the yearbook.
It was their first year of high school.
Yeah, but from middle school, you take pictures
That's
of the yearbook.
He was
They
in
didn't
Indiana
really-
in middle school.
Right. They-
Not according to the storyline. So in real life, yes, they were in.
In
They were
real life.
in real life, meaning like so. We were talking about the time jumps of things, or like the different jumps of places.
Right.
So Good Morning Miss Bliss was not the same world as
Isn't
Saved by the Bell,
Even though they had some of the same characters.
even though the same.
They got
it didn't have the same.
Wait,
characters.
did she
It had
ever
some
come
of the same
back?
characters.
It had
Miss Bliss?
Belding,
No.
it had Screech, it
You
had
sure?
Zach,
And
I'm
Lisa,
not-
but that's it.
I'm absolutely.
which is
I'm
what-
awake.
what I
I'm
wanna
just
make-
not
We're
talking.
missing the point that Lisa is the hero of the show.
Lisa.
I will say
is
that
also
Lisa,
sociopath.
no,
Yeah.
Lisa is just yet another victim.
No, she is the blossoming American consumerism at its finest.
You're
Oh, maybe that's what we're doing.
You guys are getting so deep with
Yeah.
this.
Call
Let's go ahead and just run down the roster of all these Zach Morris one night stands, okay?
Oh.
But yeah, he never had sex. You don't
All right,
remember
he acted like he loved all of them.
when you were in high school, every girl you
After
wanted to see,
after one episode, they were all yesterday's news.
Yeah.
because we're living in sitcom world. It's
The
not continuous.
wrestler.
Oh, the wrestler.
He spends an
She was
entire
awesome.
episode building her up, like, why can't she fucking wrestle? And then they go out on a date, and she defends him, and now he's like, fuck her and her wrestling.
It's true.
He's a fickle piece of
He did do
shit.
that. He did do that.
He was emasculated.
Yeah, he should have been more often.
Also, in that episode, he's wearing like a gray, brown, and blue sweater that my mother owns.
The man even screwed over his own friends in his romantic pursuits, and for nothing.
Well, not for nothing.
No, well, you just said he's a virgin, so it's
Yes.
okay. So you can't you
Inverted
can't
penis. You
time
can't-
out.
You can't get it.
Kids, you can't have it both ways. You really can't just say that
Are you
somebody.
doing a PSA right now?
The more you know.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah, that too. You quite literally cannot defend a position by saying that that Zach Morris was not after these girls for sex, and then say, well, it wasn't for nothing. And it just doesn't work that way. You can't have it. I'm sorry. And there should be a fist flying in my face so I can get out of the way and just go time in.
So I mean, his penis is definitely inverted.
Probably.
Are we back to sub?
And I feel like your husky fingers him.
Yes, with a pinky.
With the thing.
But I mean, the ones that he does. I mean, I could go down the entire list, but there are two specific instances where he, well, other than the Pursuit of Kelly, where he will do anything to screw Slater over, and that went on for a little while. Then he got bored.
How many times did he show up in the girls' locker room too?
With Screech in drag.
Oh god,
No
Screech and
less.
drag was always.
What is it? My name is Sinead O'Connor.
So there was the this is alternate universe again, but no, this wasn't. This was the first day of senior year. There's that, like, no, she was a very attractive girl walking down the hallway, and then they the whole day they're like, oh man, you gotta meet this girl. Like they both act. Slater's not innocent in this either. They both act like they basically locked her up or whatever, and then they just beat the shit out of each other.
Oh yeah.
So that nobody's innocent in that. But that could have been built up frustration in the past for Slater over A, losing Kelly, and B, Zach dating Slater's sister.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But that didn't last.
And he
either.
made a big effing deal about it.
That was part of the problem, I think, is that it didn't last. He made a big deal about it.
Mm-hmm. Everything, it's life or death. And then I was like, hey, Preppy, you still dating my sister? Who? I'm already on to the next.
I'm busy planning on fucking over Mr. Belding again, making him look like the worst.
Yeah, come on.
principal
Who
ever.
spends this much time just to fuck over their principal? Don't you have anything better to do?
I feel like the problem, what you're missing is motive. You're saying that he's
bored. He's rich, and he has nothing better to do.
See, I don't feel like that's adequate
joining us?
motive.
What do you
To
mean?
be saying that he's literally doing all of these horrific things because he's bored and entitled.
He's Patrick Bateman.
Oh, he's what do they call that?
Bored and entitled.
No, the term now.
Bored and entitled.
That kid that went to Mexico to stay away from the police because he had it.
Oh.
I can't remember what it's called.
Exactly.
Pretty
No.
much.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Influential or
Affluenza.
Affluenza.
Yeah, he's got affluenza.
Oh yeah,
He totally does.
that's not.
See, I'm
it's not a
based out in the
clinical.
country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry.
I am not throwing away my shot.
I don't know what just happened.
What just happened was Ian referenced the musical Hamilton, and Kara, without missing a beat, finished the line.
Because
Well,
I've
we
memorized that musical.
What's the seventh word?
Word.
So, if I cannot wrap my head around the fact that Zach
Bob
Morris,
is the second word. Give me the seventh word.
I can't wrap my head around the fact that Zach would do any of these things maliciously. He's selfish, absolutely.
No, he does it with a smile, and that's why it makes it. That's why he's associated.
But he always
Show me
feels
that
honest
smile.
regret.
Oh, show me that.
He does it with a smile, plays it off to the camera and the audience, which may or may not be there.
They're not. I told you, he's schizophrenic. The audience isn't there.
But
He's hearing it.
But he does it, and he acts as though he's the hero of the piece. And this is the worst.
Well, remember,
Right.
he is part Indian, Native American.
And apparently
He said Asian. So
No.
No, in real
Zach
life,
Morris
he's part of it.
is part Native
oh
American.
no, he's not. Oh, okay.
Yes, he is.
That one time. That he never
So,
talked about again.
Yeah.
Never talked.
That's how
about
he got into college.
How many times do you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
How many episodes do you want to dedicate?
He felt bad about that whole thing for all of about 5 minutes, and then went on living
Maybe
his
that's
life.
the problem that you're having is that
I'm not
you
having
see-
a problem.
you are because
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Because here's
I'm
the
going-
thing. No, you have timeout. So what might be happening here is that the episode resolves itself, so we don't see what happens afterward. We don't know if Zach Morris dates this girl for about another 6 months and that they break up because of differences. Kelly Kapowski cheated on him. Maybe other women did too. We don't know after he's learned the lesson how he applies that timeout. How he applies that lesson to the rest of his daily life. We assume that the next sitcom episode comes right on the heels of the last one, but maybe there are time differences. We don't know. Time in.
When I say inverted, I mean all the way.
Did we just go back in time?
Sorry, I didn't know we did the time. I didn't understand.
Where's the TARDIS?
What?
It's behind the curtain.
I was going to say the worst thing he did, like this is he screwed over the Not just the graduation rings thing.
Graduation rings? Oh, yeah,
The
yeah,
class
yeah.
rings where
But
you
he
fucks
wasn't
everybody.
meaning to do that.
Yes, he did. He meant to. He pocketed the remainder of that money.
But he thought that he was
He
getting
also
the ring.
cheated in the boys versus girls competition for money that the school had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all
He
about.
also tried to make
It's
the
all
school
about
talk,
short-term goals and
He
for
tried to cheat to
financial
do that,
gains.
too.
Yes.
So-
Until he drank lemon water, which Vox, as a singer, is that a thing? Because the pure
No,
lemon
it's just
extract
pure
thing, I've
lemon
tried it.
juice.
You're not supposed to just drink.
Lemon
Oh
extract.
no, it was lemonade, but too much.
It was lemon extract.
Yeah.
He does feel guilty at times, though. I
Yes.
mean, like
So there's
like
that.
he feels like the
You know-
oil spill episode is full of like
Oh,
empathy.
you know what?
From even
Because he
Zach.
cares about animals.
Sociopaths don't
people,
like animals.
people are
No,
merely.
that's true. Sociopaths, they always say, I like dogs because dogs are loyal. I actually know someone who says that all the time. He's a sociopath. No.
I mean, we're supposed to be playing
I-
down here. Sorry, my bad.
Believe me, I
When
researched
have I
this
ever
ahead of
said
time.
that?
No, we're joking.
With
Just
you, Bob.
using saying like, I know a sociopath,
Oh.
and that's why we're recording.
No, I'm a sociopath
guys-
because I'm a
you guys
sociopath.
do
I'm a
too.
narcissist. There's a difference.
I can't be sociopath. Do your
Box has
research.
reached that point,
Well,
guys.
that's true. Zach Morris is
Oh,
at the very least a narcissist.
Truth finally comes.
Maybe
to
that's,
an
maybe that's what.
Literally, I saw
But
it.
you know, the truth comes in saliva now.
Mm.
Maybe that's the thing now, is that those of us who have had enough sleep to keep our mouths shut, we interview those who have not slept and get the honest interviews.
Nick, what do you think about racism?
I think it's shit.
But Nick, how do you feel about your racism?
I think it's
The shit.
more than I think it is
Acceptable.
because it's one of those things where you never know when you're accidentally being the racist.
And Bob,
Speaking
how
of,
do you feel about Nick's racism?
I think Nick is the most racist individual I've ever met in my life.
that's fair.
Speaking of racism,
Speaking of racism,
no, this ties in.
Stacey
Trust me.
Pelosi.
No. I'm gonna just skip ahead to the worst of it all.
What do you mean?
There,
No, I mixed them all up.
where Lisa, where Zach just decides after.
He goes after Screech's lady.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Screech is about to go fucking full court press. Like this is it. This is his last ditch, his last gasp.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell her how I feel. Like support her through her fucking was the fashion thing, the fashion school thing, and all the while Zach's just like, even though I've known her since Indiana, she's looking pretty good, and I think I want to hit it. Just because he decides.
I think part of it was probably the fact the actors were having their own relationship.
I didn't see that.
Oh, they did?
They made
Yeah.
a documentary about it. It was really good. Well,
Yeah.
it was like
It was not.
a documentary.
Are
It
you
was
serious?
like
It was Zach
was
Morris and Mark Voorhees dated for a while, and Zach Morris and Elizabeth Berkley dated for like a hot minute.
So
It was a
so
hot
so the
Yeah, like
the kiss on the stage.
kind of a thing, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that was in show.
I'm not even counting that because that was like misunderstanding.
Yeah, for sure that was.
I can
The Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
yeah like
8
I
Dwarfs.
can
Because A.C. Slater, the sociopath, had to edit an entire musical because he
he's
did
not a
trust his girlfriend.
sociopath.
He was
He's
paranoid.
just-
He was not a sociopath.
He was
Like-
paranoid for good fucking
I've
reason.
heard it both ways.
Tomato, paranoid
But yeah,
sociopath.
knowing that
I'm excited for the second.
his so-called
Hell yeah.
best friend
Come on, son.
Screech.
Damn right. Bring back the blueberry.
We've said that Screech is supposedly Zach's best friend
Supposedly, sure.
We drove in the dark car.
and not just his bitch.
I feel like he's more his bitch. than his
Mr.
best friend.
Belding is by far the most dangerous character on that show.
Preach.
He should have
He
been.
spends way too much time being way too close with those kids in and out of school.
That's not what this show's about right
I'm
now,
taking
Fox.
commandeering of this right
You don't
now.
get a
I'm telling
timeout.
you, I'm telling you.
Don't you remember when they were supposed to go on that ski vacation? And
The brother?
the brother his brother Ron Belding.
Rod. Even better.
Rod Belding. Who was like, yeah, guys, you gotta just live. Like, throw your books away. Blah. And then Mr. Belding's like,
chill
all
out,
right,
Richie.
guys, I'll take you on the trip. And everyone's like, yay. And I'm thinking,
Are you
like,
sure?
weird.
It seemed like they were like, at first.
Well, 'cause they got to go
Mr.
on the trip.
Belding was not a good influence on those
I think
kids.
he was a nice guy.
He meant well.
He meant well, but he was a psycho.
Unlike, look, we're talking about sociopaths. That's like,
He was a psycho.
High functioning sociopath. Do your research.
yeah.
Okay,
You just
so-
jumped on.
So Kara's fired, and then
But she calls you.
didn't that time.
Oh.
Hey, boss, you're stupid.
So,
Do your research, boss.
all right. I
I'm
feel
just
like
quoting Sherlock.
it's time to put this.
Do we want a verdict?
No.
Are we voting on who the sociopath is, or
Or if
Zach
that
is?
is.
I think Mustard is the sociopath.
We know you do.
I didn't even really.
I think Elizabeth is because she came and left here a couple times. She keeps coming back.
I didn't even remember it was the same
I think
day.
Elizabeth is a sociopath.
I am. You
Raise your-
guessed it.
All those in favor of Elizabeth being a sociopath?
It's all right.
I
She's the
I-
She's the assassin. Yeah.
You're the spy.
You're the spy.
we don't talk about that. I was so frustrated with you guys.
Getting spy.
Yeah,
I want to know. I want to know
And
which.
this guy lets you guys win.
I want to know which one of us goes to Taco Bell sober.
It's Elizabeth.
Me? Oh, yeah. No, it's me.
Yeah, she's
Oh, yeah.
Elizabeth goes to Taco Bell
Why are
sober.
we
Yes, I
playing
do.
this
Oh,
again?
good. What is this? Tell me. Explain it.
This was way less.
I like this game. Oh, is this? Yeah.
Because we've literally got 60 minutes to kill.
Let's play the other game.
gone in 60 minutes.
Yeah, the assassin game.
Because they're sleeping over there.
We still have four.
put
Are
it
you gonna
away.
play? You gonna play Resistance?
I'm not
Yeah.
sleeping. I'm still
I'm
here.
not sleeping. I'm playing Temple Run.
Here we go.
We've already done this one. Oh,
And I've still got a guitar.
No,
Yes,
Mix
that
them up.
probably.
Just grab it.
just grab something.
we'll find a reason to take shirt off. Ian.
Ian.
That was it.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? It's been on far too long.
Oh!
Yeah, no!
Oh,
We got it. We got it. Ah!
Oh, oh,
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not taking my shirt off.
Scotsman.
Oh, yeah.
Now how many viewers do we have?
I love seeing that Scottish brogue. Yeah.
Roar!
I have to admit, topless Ian is far more impressive than I expected him ever to be.
Why does Ian's volleyball look a little bit like Nils?
I'm really gutted that Newsom wasn't here to see that.
Oh, he can see it right now.
We're gonna put it on his.
Oh, God.
Ne-
Put it away.
Secretly, Newsom's my man crush.
You gonna read one?
Yeah. I don't like any of these.
It's not how the game works.
Okay. I don't care. No.
Donate now. Donate now. We got literally have an hour left, and then we're done.
Can I have another time out?
And we haven't hit our goal yet, so we need you to do it. If we're gonna do it
What
enough,
is the
now's
goal?
the time.
I mean, for crying out loud, you now have a topless Scottish man. What more do you need in order to donate money? I mean, seriously.
Isn't he almost Amish? He was on it.
We
No, I would
we need Meepo is what we need.
I'm right here. I haven't gone anywhere.
All right, this one's Ian.
Ian, here's your card. Oh, we've got the. It's literally the one he had before. Just right in the
I think
trunk.
you gotta go from. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Can I play?
Yeah.
He shuffled.
Yeah,
Sure.
you can.
It's Ian's turn.
How do I play?
Cameras up on that.
Let's.
Okay.
On the chair, baby.
There you go.
Oh,
There we go. Finds everything on Craigslist.
finds everything on Craigslist.
I had a roommate like that once,
There it is.
but I've never gone.
I have a feeling
I tried
the
to sell.
Krahulek might possibly be one of those people.
Is
Oh,
it because
she's
she
not.
pointed at herself?
No,
Yeah.
no. It's
I got
I had a deep feeling within me.
And my bookcases are all from Craigslist. So, yeah, that's me.
This is Kara.
This is Kara.
How do you play this?
You read the card, then you decide
Read
who
the card.
fits best.
Who around fits that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Can you hold a little closer? Hang on. Ian, get your face off my laptop. Has no idea what's going on.
That's
Me.
basically all of us, right?
Yeah, really.
No, that's me.
You want your own card here?
I'm
Okay.
fine with that.
Okay.
You should probably tell her that the goal is not to get cards.
Oh, it's not?
Yeah, if you get 7 points. If you get 7
What?
points, you take the hot
What?
Okay.
What? Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys-
no.
you
Why
guys
would
wanted
To be fair, it was after 4 losses.
has a ringback tone.
A ringback.
They don't have those?
I don't even know what that is.
Who have them.
Oh,
To be
So
fair,
they must not have. changed it.
there's only one person that would have their own EP as part of the ringback.
I wonder who that could possibly be.
Oh, great emperor.
I would be willing to have Ian singing Gaelic Amazing Grace as my ringback tone. And my
No,
voicemail.
That can be arranged. You know?
See, the thing is, the only person who can choose me on here is Vox, which is kind of hilarious.
Well, that's what you think.
Yeah, well, you know what? I was playing in the game earlier on, and frankly, yeah, that doesn't hold true.
I pulled from the back.
I heard you pull from the back.
I'm a little scared now.
Would you like some more cards? Which one of us possesses superhuman bullshit capabilities? Considering we
Says
just
the
played
guy.
Resistance, I have to admit, Bear really snowed me a bunch of times.
Yeah, even when he had no one else snowed, he still has you snowed.
Thank you for that last win, by the way. That was really-
God,
that was
you
really-
gave it to him so hard.
I earned it. I tried too high. You got too far.
You're like, I think maybe Nick might be a spy or something.
Yeah, I fumbled that
This
so
is two
hard.
of the
he
same
still fell
kind of
for it.
thing.
But I think you might be. I'm like, oh wait, no, he should definitely be because I'm like,
We'll make out with absolutely anyone.
Newsom.
Not me.
Oh, we got some
I
mixed
really wish it was
results.
playing because I was going to Montaragus.
Oh, we'll make out with absolutely anyone.
Andy's not here, so because he will make out with anyone on stage.
I vote Ian.
So now we have a 3-way tie between Newsom, Montaragus, and Ian.
The card holder uses the final decision.
I'm thinking probably Newsom for this one.
oh wow, that's.
Are you saying you want the card?
No, I'm saying
You're volunteering to take the card?
Play that hookup music right now.
Well, it does not appear as though Newsom's even playing anyway. So I suppose that is you.
Damn it.
Newsom, don't sleep.
I'm the winner.
All right, I'm going to take a stack of these. Always have their hands in their pants.
Nick.
Oh, that's
He already
me.
got
Sorry.
Okay.
So now we're just playing based on memory from previous games.
Is this basically devil's advocate?
Okay, Ian, it's your turn.
Okay, right. Does it because it's cool? Yeah, Vox. That's got to be a Vox.
I have 2 words
Not
for
a memory
you.
game.
3 words.
Was that what we had
Batman fidget spinner.
Yeah.
I also have 3 words. Social media darling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Self-professed.
Okay, this is one we haven't had. Okay, Kara.
Isn't sure if it's a good idea. Like, does this mean anything in general?
Just anything.
I'm pretty sure Elizabeth isn't sure that this is good.
I think everything's a great idea. I'm yes and bitches.
I'm like, let's do it and not try anything to get better. Do it.
The guy next to Elizabeth.
Yeah, I can see that. I can totally see Dave doing that.
That's Musto.
Okay, Musto.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're the one who I made a threat to.
Harry, you want one? You were kind of saying no before this, but
you already have 2, so.
You do already have 2 cards.
Okay. It's the goal to have the most cards.
You can give me a pile, but you gotta
The least.
Okay.
Oh. I'm winning!
Terrible comeback.
No, that's theirs.
Are you kidding me? My comebacks are awesome.
No, you're the judge.
Dave said he wasn't good.
No, he's had like some good comebacks every now and then.
Thank you.
That person that don't do comebacks is must have.
To be fair, his comebacks are basically Yora, whatever you just said.
Yeah. Brilliant every time.
That could be great.
Your mom.
That's a good. That's a 8-year-old comeback.
Yeah, that's tried and true.
Yeah, they say no.
If it ain't broke,
Tried
don't
and
fix it.
truly fucking terrible.
All right. Can only make plans one day out.
Oh, jeez.
Was that like I can't plan anything more than a day in advance?
Right.
Yeah.
I am confident that is not me because I usually say things like, "Hey, what are you doing on Saturday?" And then Friday they're like, "Oh my god, you know what
I have to make my plans in advance.
I knew you were a guy who was like that.
You know what? I'll own that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, Box.
Fox.
Can't drive for shit.
Box.
I'll own that one too.
I've ridden with you.
I live in an island that's 60 miles by 40. I've driven on the mainland of Scotland precisely once in my life. I drive terribly.
Because you're bad at driving.
You know what? Oh, there's one other factor. Age. Carol is just barely.
Oh, that's true.
That's a good point. I feel like right now, just statistically, she can't drive for shit.
Right.
Excuse? Okay. Excuse me.
Boss. Go boss for him.
Yeah.
Right.
Boss sir. Fucking excuse me.
Excuse me.
I love you, boss. I love you, Dave.
I gotta tell you guys something. This is one of the best stories ever. So my cousin and I were on our way to playing a gig, and we were running kind of late, and I may have been rather heavy with the old right foot, and we were going through a village.
I forgot you drive on the wrong side of the road.
A built-up area, and I was driving at in excess of 90 miles per hour. And then at one point, I looked in my rearview mirror and saw that there was a police car directly behind me, and I just about lost it. And so we were just about to enter a 40-mile-per-hour area, and I figured, like, okay, what's the best thing to do here? It's the best thing to do to kind of gradually grind to the correct speed, or to just slam the anchors on and like down to 40, which is what I chose to do. The police car sat behind me for about another half a mile. And then as we were leaving the 40-mile-per-hour area, and I'm thinking to myself, yes, I got away with it. They turned on the blue flashing lights.
Right now!
So I pulled up to the side of the road, and the police guy comes out, and I didn't recognize him, but he was obviously somebody I knew, or was supposed to have known. And he says to me, because this is back when I just got my license. He says, "Yeah, don't worry, we're not going to do you." He says, which sounds suspicious. He says, myself and my friend here, and he points to his cohort in the passenger seat. So we have a bet on to say that you've had your license for less than 2 years. Am I right? I was like, yeah.
How old do you have to be to get your license in Scotland?
18.
Yeah, but how old do you have to be to drink in Scotland, Ian?
12.
Yeah, 18 again. So Yeah, so miraculously,
So at
I managed to
18,
get away without getting a ticket.
Big year.
You are what you eat.
It's a big year.
Big year.
So you didn't get a ticket at all?
Didn't get a ticket at all. The guy just sent us on our merry way because he had won his bet with his cop friend. Despite the fact that I was doing 90 miles per hour in a built-up area.
And I thought one of my friends, Mary, was bad.
Oh yeah, I've heard about Mary.
Yeah.
You know, there's something about Mary.
Straight to be Mary.
I swear to God, if Mary ever finds this, she will kill
That's
me.
about themselves.
Snapchat. 3 days until this great new album.
Hey, it's on Instagram too.
Next
Oh,
card.
Ouch.
You know what? Did you buy one?
No.
Not yet.
I'm making a point not to reward.
I don't
anything
buy
that
albums,
is
so
directly
I-
advertised like
At
that.
least not. I buy vinyl. That's why.
You did more help for me.
I Spotified it.
What? Well, go
I told you I'd be your hype man.
Yeah?
You want to be playing
When?
play?
Whenever you have.
Yeah, boy!
I listened to the samples on Google.
Cool.
I listened to the samples out of your car radio.
That's fine.
I lifted the samples from your trunk.
There you go.
That's true. He does.
I
these
sang a
samples.
demo. Did Walk of Shame in Halloween costume.
Did we ever? I think we gave that to me.
Yeah, we
Well, we can do another one.
It's a different one.
Still believes in Santa.
Did that one.
Did that
Has
one.
never broken the law.
Did that one.
Owns crayons.
Did that one.
It's not a
I
whole
got
chunk
that
of
one.
cards.
Would go out if they didn't have to get up.
We did that one.
Yeah. Snooze was sleeping and we gave it to.
Has questionable hygiene.
We did that one.
Yeah, we got to Ian because he had a good shower.
Yeah, he was 4 or 5.
I did have to shower. I was thinking.
Is going straight to hell.
Well, that's.
Newson.
It is going straight to hell.
Yay!
It's funny, everybody got quiet all of a sudden.
He's like,
I mean, I'm probably going straight to hell because of all my fictional crushes that are villains.
Living easy. No, let's not go there.
It's going straight to hell. That is pretty, that's rough.
I do not pass go.
I'm going to give it to Patrick Mason.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, he needs it.
That's his spot right here.
I'm going straight to hell.
Why would he need it?
But only because, you know, the company will be better there.
He's at one.
He's on the highway as well.
There. Okay, Ian, here's yours.
Okay. Is always like really cold.
Swear to God, if you give that to me just because it says like.
We said that earlier about a couple of them.
Yeah, I'm inclined to go Kara.
Just because it says like?
No, because you've spent most of the day wrapping yourself in a freaking blanket.
It,
Alright, this one's Kara's.
Oh, this might be my favorite that I've ever seen in this.
oh no. Gets trapped by revolving door.
Trapped by revolving door.
Why are you looking at me?
It's not my choice.
I know, but you're looking at me.
I'm looking around. I'm looking around. Ian, the look on your face is telling me something.
I've never been trapped in a revolving door.
Uh-huh.
But I'll bet your ass that Musto has.
Yeah.
Ian, can we be friends in real life?
I love how
Yes, we can. Elizabeth, you're a wonderful person and I love you.
I'm gonna give this to Nick.
What?
What?
What a twist. What a twist.
You just look like you would. I don't mean that. I don't know.
love this. Like, I feel like that would be one of those like zings on The Office. Like, you know, he just has one of those faces that looks like a man who would get trapped in a revolving door.
This thing got mean earlier.
It did.
I think there's a lot.
Yeah, that was after the hot sauce.
I think mostly defeated.
I broke Nick.
Oh, it's a tired, defeated attitude.
I'm so sorry, Nick.
Bear's trap.
I thought it was Pat's.
Pat
He
hasn't
hasn't
been
been
participating.
Just wait.
Buys Happy Meal toy for meal, or buys Happy Meal for toy only.
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
That's not true. I buy it for the dog.
No.
Okay, so
I buy
I
Happy Meal for Burger
I
only.
actually have in the last couple of years.
buy Happy Meals so that I can get the little French
Actually,
fries
just
and the
buy-
little Coke and the apple slices, and then I
Okay.
can give the nuggets to the dog.
You can just buy the toy now.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, you can. I did it like 2 years ago.
All right. This is my card. Challenges Gypsy to scarf dancing competition. Kara.
Dave. Yeah, I would because Esmeralda is awesome.
I knew that one.
Esmeralda!
But like, she's one of the sexiest Disney characters.
Wow.
Which one of us is a mooch? It's mine to choose.
Everybody's tired and salty at this point. It's great.
I mean, you're pretty.
You pretty.
I did all my arguing in the last segment.
I'm producing a show right now. I'm definitely not a mooch. Like money producing.
Yeah, methinks Madaragas protests too much.
You're funding money for what show? Oh my God. Is that the one that has a crowdfunding campaign?
Yeah.
Then what exactly is that?
The crowdfunding campaign is to recoup anything that.
So it's asking for money from people.
Mooch, 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 mooch.
Oh, that was the judge, buddy.
Madaragas gets the mooch card.
Speaking of which,
We're gonna mooch off of you right now. If you
Oh,
want,
there you go. Segue.
and click that. There you go.
Donate, donate.
Motherfucker.
you know I'm not a mooch.
Which is
Fixes everything with duct tape.
I think since Bear takes the shit out of this place.
What is it?
Fixes everything with duct tape.
Literally nothing.
You fixed the design and position of everything.
Well, I've seen Nick's house and he doesn't fix much of anything.
You fixed your finger with tape.
This was a joke.
You also have some paper.
I'm trying to find Elizabeth on Facebook, and
Oh, because
good Lord, the stuff that I'm finding instead of her is just spectacular.
you mean just all of my alternate personalities.
Yeah, right.
I'll find you.
You're older.
It's much easier to find an Ian McKinnon than an Elizabeth Barrow.
Well,
No, it's Elizabeth, but it's just Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. What's the card?
fixes everything with duct tape.
I'll still say it's fair.
Sure, I'll give a shit.
All right. Page 20.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's got 20 to lose. He doesn't have any worries.
Even if he gets a 20, he still doesn't give a shit.
No, we've had something similar. Oh boy.
I feel like I don't even have to say it out loud.
Can you move it closer? We can't see.
Who's that for?
It's for Vox. It's for me, but we're giving it to Vox.
Well, just read it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, that sounds like the beautiful boss.
Oh,
A,
That is
I
not
do know that.
and B, I'm not the only one.
Can confirm.
Both valid. Okay. Card for Ian here.
I want to do this every single night of my life.
Okay, Ian, here's your
It's called
card.
the knock your ass back down a few pegs game. I like
Oh,
it.
here we go.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Would survive in woods with just a hatchet.
Nils.
Logman. Nils.
Logman.
Yeah, you probably would actually.
I didn't play Logman.
He just looks like a badass lumberjack.
Do you know what he does for a
I
living?
do feel like
No.
Nils would be just fine in the woods with a hatchet.
That's true. I feel like.
Well,
that's-
I think he also needs some
He
sun.
works in a lumber yard. He legitimately works in a lumber yard.
Wow.
Too bad he's not playing.
Yeah, it's too bad he's not playing, so you got to choose somebody else.
I
Yeah,
really am the Oracle.
You are. Unbeknownst to you.
So who that's playing?
Oracle.
Oh man. I once made a knife for my dad.
Out of what?
Out of wood.
Intended for your dad?
Oh, I thought.
Yeah, it
I don't
wasn't
know
like I was
what
gonna freaking stab him. No, I crafted the handle out of wood.
No, I don't know. Okay, my brain is semi-dead right now, so.
No wonder you've been up for like 79 hours.
Nice dust. Gotcha.
Oh dear God. Good thing I don't work tomorrow.
Well, Ian, whenever we couldn't decide, we would just give it to Ian. So
Yeah, true enough. Fair. Bring it on.
Ian's taking his own card.
Here, my turn.
Your friend on Facebook.
My turn.
Oh God.
Thinks they can freestyle rap.
Thinks they can freestyle rap.
I know that's not me. I suck at that.
I'm not good.
There's a huge difference between can freestyle rap and think they can freestyle.
Major way.
Just freestyle like a motherfucker.
Yes.
That's not even freestyling.
See, I'm resisting the urge to choose myself just because of Hamilton. But I don't want to lose, so that's going to Liz.
Oh.
Right now, Ian and Tara really have all the power because even if they lose, they don't have to take the consequences.
No.
This is true.
I think you guys are just making it up.
Okay, Bear.
I still think you
Freaking shot
Is
glass
Bear
of
still
lemon
there?
juice.
Pre-games, pre-gaming.
I could take a shot glass of lemon juice. Because I can drink it without flinching.
Oh, Ian.
God, I love you all. I really do.
Yay! I'm tolerated.
He doesn't know, so that means it's Ian.
Oh no!
That
That's
makes
the rule.
sense. He drinks before he drinks.
Right, he drinks before he drinks before he
Before
drinks.
he drinks, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's actually very true.
Yeah.
I don't think we had this one. All right.
Whose is this?
Mine.
Okay.
Thinks they have Ebola / swine flu.
We did that.
We did that one.
That's my sister.
Oh, it's still big.
My sister
Thank
actually
God I've got this one and not.
awkward though this may be. My sister actually has cancer, although she's convinced herself in the past that she has had AIDS and Ebola and everything else as well.
Is she prone to suggestion?
No, she's not. But yeah, she's doing okay. So it's cool, guys. not to
All of
pick
us
it
got
down or
quiet.
situation.
So it's funny, like, hey,
Way to bring home this last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
All right.
Donate.
Yeah.
Donate. Donate.
Donate.
Uses dude as both statement and question.
We've had that.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
I came up with that card.
I think that happens.
Did you guys play that while I was sleeping?
I heard that like 6 hours ago.
Yeah, he doesn't hear this one.
Did we have this one? Shamelessly Snapchats?
Yeah.
Yes.
We talked about
I
it.
don't think we had that.
I don't think we had the
specifically.
card.
That's,
but we talked about it. Snapchat.
That's the lovely emperor right there.
I was gonna say that sounds suspiciously voxy.
Moxie.
Because you're not on Snapchat.
Ian, I think
Lucky.
Ian, I'm pretty sure you just found.
Ian, you should be on Snapchat.
I don't need to be on Snapchat. I know you, Dave. I know you.
Did you hear what Elizabeth just said?
No, I didn't.
I said, Ian, I think you've just touched upon Vox's new title for his second EP, which is Suspiciously Voxy.
My dad's
I'll
out.
play that.
Do I get to play guitar in that one too?
The fantastic Mr. Fox.
Fantastic Mr. Vox.
Fantastic Mr. Vox Mullen.
The fantastic Mr. Fox. So
Shames people for going to bed,
For going to bed.
which
There
is
you go.
totally me. But
yeah, which is
I'm the judge, so really is. Too bad you guys can't. It's too bad you can't see what we see. It's the best thing ever.
Is it just like Newson flipping you off or something?
Not yet.
God, I hope that's all it is.
He's just waving at us.
What, waving what?
So we're gonna give it to Pat, even though he doesn't really give a shit. He shames people for going to bed.
Was that Shames?
I thought you
or
said
Shames?
shames.
I went the same place as Kara.
Yay!
it's the random like whiplash thing too.
Yeah.
It's what Oh, Jesus. I don't want to play with that toy.
What?
Oh.
It feels like 11 o'clock in the morning, but I know it's not.
It's legitimately here in the UK. It is 11:30 p.m.
It doesn't have to be Black Friday.
I was just going to say.
What's the name of it? What is
I'm
it?
just gonna kill him.
No, it wasn't
Read that again, guys.
I murdered children. Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, where that one?
We'll
Right.
trample a kid on Black Friday.
I just heard I will murder children and I was concerned.
Oh, they should be, and they never are.
Parents.
Please don't murder me.
Has sketchy friends.
You got that one.
I got that one last time.
What's wrong with you people? Can you not put the cards at the front to the back?
He shuffled them up
Something
before he put them
happened.
away.
I don't know.
Brags about not using a chaser.
What's a chaser?
Not use that one.
Well, that goes to Kara, who literally just said, I could take a shot of lemon juice. I can do it.
Even though she said, "What's a chaser?"
Yeah, what is a chaser?
Which is more like, "What's a chaser?"
No, literally, what is a chaser?
Yeah, totally.
You fucking chaser!
Would you like
this is a
to
good one.
demonstrate?
I know
I can
that's a
do that.
position in Harry Potter Quidditch.
Turn it around.
All tornadoes.
Turn it around, Nick.
Oh yeah.
Who's this for?
Purple.
Oh!
Oh! Hi.
You know what? You can give us more money if you go to dvmpe.com and you hit that lovely big donate button that we have there. It's a PayPal button. If you have a PayPal account, even if you don't have a PayPal account, you can still give us money.
Are you
giving us
drunk
money
right now?
means that we can continue to bring you podcasting goodness for the coming year. So please, everybody, donate. Because what? Sorry?
Oh, yeah, you're ruining the whole thing.
You're the illusion.
Dang it, Mustang.
You're channeling
broke
your
it.
inner
I
Sarah
broke it.
McLachlan.
All right, and here's your real card.
All right. Literally can't even. Kara.
Yeah. Because I've said that on more than one occasion.
Literally can't
Fox can
even.
confirm this.
Go.
You're gonna have to send her some hot sauce.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Who's
I
in
know,
it?
right? I would love to
Okay,
see
Kara.
Kara do some hot sauce.
Frickers hot sauce.
Oh god, that
Kara, here's
sounds
your
horrible.
Hang on, it's blurry. It says was all about, and then I can't read it. Oh, it was all about Abercrombie.
Abercrombie.
It was
You
all
don't
about
even get that reference.
No, I know what Abercrombie is. I fought close from there. It took me a second, okay? Because I don't have clothes from there anymore.
Anymore?
I buy only things from Hot Topic now. I will say Ian.
What?
Yeah.
That doesn't even exist in the UK.
I did a girl who dated a fucking
I've got like 19 cards. This is not right.
We've seen him without a shirt. He probably works up front.
Bear, this one's yours.
You
Loses
just seem
keys
fashionable
while
enough
driving.
to.
Wow.
What?
That's awesome.
Kara.
What?
Those parts for you.
What's the name? What's the name of the card?
Kara.
How many bucks at
I have
4?
5.
Give the box.
Well, I actually think Elizabeth might have 5 too.
No, too late. You said give it to Vox.
I like it. It was funny.
Do I have 5 cards in front of me?
Yeah.
How many do I have? 3?
6.
Oh.
This is going to be interesting. This is my card. Is way too comfortable talking about sex.
Where's Newson?
Didn't say way too comfortable bragging about sex.
We all just start snickering.
That's still talking about it.
Honestly,
Why is that your card?
Because he likes talking about sex.
because I have no shame.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like, I'm not, I actually,
You don't have
in
to
good
take it.
consciousness, I have to take it for myself.
Why? You really have to take it.
I turned beet red at the very mention of appendages.
That must be tough when you got your hands on your pencil.
In other news, I want Elizabeth Krahulik to be my new best friend.
Posts status, quote, it's just been one of those days, sad face emoji.
My fucking wife.
That's hilarious.
That is funny.
Does that mean it goes to you?
That's a classic vague book statement.
The people who I know who would do this aren't playing this game.
Right.
Dave, there's a reason they're not playing this game.
Right? Feel like it's gonna go to Elizabeth.
What?
I'm the judge.
You are a terrible judge.
And I'm trying to
You know what? I don't care if Naomi is not even in the room right now or even in the building that I'm currently inhabiting, but that card needs to go to her.
What? Just mail it to her.
My wife is getting that card and you will take it away from her over my dead body.
Has sticky fingers.
Wait, that also goes to my wife.
Is
she a kleptomaniac or has a magpie problem?
I'm the judge.
Fingers are legitimately sticky.
Guys, yeah. There's stuff.
Does Naomi have a kleptomaniac problem or something?
We're the best. I'm not sure.
I haven't seen a cat's cradle.
What the heck is that?
Cat's
Is
cradle.
is it an interpretive dance?
Yes.
Itsy bitsy spider. Went out. Down came the rain. Washed. Washed.
What's this?
Out. Sun.
What?
It's
Hey guys, what's this?
A potato.
Did one of these.
Dead one of these, yeah. What's this?
I don't know, but there it goes again.
There it goes again.
Oh, hi Bella.
All right, it's
That's exciting.
whose turn?
Oh, my turn.
Oh,
Bella.
Who's Bella?
Risk
I don't
life.
care what Elizabeth says. I want to be the answer.
That was mine.
I think so.
Most of the
Is
ones
it because she's your new
Most of them
bestie?
are general warriors.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
sure.
exactly why.
by far.
Because this is the only game that allows people to be shitty with their friends.
Thinks reality TV is real.
We did that
Without being honest. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, but that would be me.
Christ.
Has sex while watching TV.
Oh no, we haven't had that one. That's a good one.
All right. Has sex while watching TV.
Fox.
Oh, come on.
I think it's Fox as well.
Yeah.
Ragus.
Then I agree with you. You're the judge. You be the judge.
Because there's only one way that Vox could possibly watch all the TV that he claims to watch, and that is by, like, doing some double teaming.
What? I'll tell you right now. If you know my wife, There's no way I'm watching television while I'm having sex.
Not even House of Cards?
So if I am watching television having sex, I'm probably alone.
Yeah.
Which is
And-
common.
Nick is on Netflix and still, which requires a lot of TV watching.
Oh, there you go.
So Nick Madaraga.
Oh, how many
Yeah.
Not 7.
Good choice.
Help those out, buddy.
Man, the man is non-stop.
I'm the host of that show.
I know. Well, because I was saying, I felt like Nick.
6.
Dave, you look like you're on Sesame Street.
Nick loses.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
It's okay, Elizabeth will do a taste with you.
I'm not doing it again. I gotta do shows.
Oh, because that's the hard part.
Well, I don't.
This is
Once again,
Ian's turn.
I wait for.
you saw how I took it. It's not
$7,000.
like I can't handle it.
No, he did. You can't handle the juice.
It is Ian's turn.
Is it?
It's nobody.
Yeah.
It's
Nick
over.
lost.
We did.
Oh, it's over? Oh. We have 20 minutes still.
Oh,
Yay.
We have enough time for the.
We have enough time for Elizabeth to try the hot sauce.
We have an
20
acoustic guitar.
Wait,
20 minutes
we have
into
enough
the-
time for me to do the lemon thing? Who wants me to take a lemon juice shot?
Bear. I'm telling you, she does not believe.
Do not believe.
I believe in fairies. I do. I do.
Vox never uses time out.
Did
We
we all
get a
get one?
timeout.
Yeah,
Oh,
we all
because
got
he
one.
didn't join us originally.
Yeah, he wasn't even there. He didn't even know.
I
about
didn't even
the
understand what the timeout was when she did
I don't
it.
know. I
And then
love the
ignored it.
addition.
Yeah.
That was great.
And we all used it.
I like,
Mainly to
I like-
tell each other why we were wrong.
I like the inverted penis joke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
we
did
know.
you do the timeout
Did you?
because of Saved by the Bell?
Yes.
I totally got it now. I'm sorry.
Goodness.
I know it took you 4 hours.
I've been awake for longer.
I just want to see the bottle.
No, you see it with
Yeah,
your mouth.
it-
Oh, you know, I was going to say, for the next 20 minutes, Ian is going to teach me how to speak all of the dialects of the UK.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I'm not
Can you do
trying
a pikey accent?
No, you gotta try.
Why?
Because it's insane.
Where would you like to begin, Elizabeth? I can take
I'm
you.
sorry.
I can take you on a guided tour of the
I
UK.
have to try
Go kill it.
hot sauce for a minute, and then we're going to do this.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to do a damn thing after that hot sauce.
I did it 3 times today.
My mouth waters
Twice
just
today,
smelling it.
Oh, twice today, once last night.
Apparently nobody knows what it is.
Tasty, what's in it?
Just don't change the tampon afterwards. Is all I'm saying.
Read the ingredients and tell me if there's animal resin in it.
Animal resin?
There's not.
Vicky
That's
did it.
nice.
Vicky did it
Freaking try it.
yesterday.
Vicky's a vegan and she took it.
I support Vicky.
Hey, Vicky.
That's fair. She says she supports you.
Thank you, Kara. I appreciate the support.
I support vegans because a couple of my friends are vegans.
She just support vegans.
It's very noble of you.
Supported.
Just don't go shoving it down my throat.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna do it.
Oh.
She did the full Paul.
Oh, that.
She's like, yeah, there it
I
is.
didn't realize.
I'm not burning.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Just come here for the Marvel talk and leave?
DC talking.
Elizabeth had zero
Why didn't you
interest.
talk? You should have seen it around.
in the Marvel talk.
Yeah, no.
That's what, yeah.
Not bad. Yeah.
Women have a higher pain tolerance than men. It is clear. Yes. So,
You might be a woman. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, now I feel like I want to.
Do you want me to do the lemon juice?
Sure. Kind of sexist for your reasoning, but all right, I'll stand behind it. Whatever. Well, if Elizabeth doesn't care,
No.
I'll drink it.
I'm
all
impressed.
in Miss Elizabeth.
It's like a long
Stick it in and like that's funny.
Oh, that's, yeah, that's
Seems
more
like a lot
than
more.
Do it.
Oh my, here we go.
Not more than I
Not
did.
way more.
Not more than you did.
Not more than I did
It's
the
not
last time.
way more. It's just
It's not
some
the same as
more.
Paul's dose.
Yeah. Well,
Patrick, can I have another Coke and then I'll buy you a whole case of Coke?
sure.
Thank you.
should be more like, Patrick, can I just drink a whole case of Coke right
Yeah,
now?
I just want to prove because I'm awesome.
That is pretty cool.
Elizabeth, come back because I love you.
Drink my Coke.
Yeah, she ate the can and everything.
I ate the can. I'm the goat.
Yeah. Did it.
Oh.
Oh my god. It does. It's kind of pink. Like a vinegar.
Let's get the highway to hell.
No, it's got like a little bit of an apple bourbon taste to it.
I am
Maybe
just
just on the
happy-
back of my mouth.
I'm just happy that everyone tried it.
Did everyone
Should
try it?
Did I do the lemon
Everyone
juice
tried it.
shot thing?
Bear didn't try it this time.
Bear tried it more than anyone else.
I will say it is mother.
Yeah. And noticing how your tongue doesn't work the same way through the second video.
No, it's just watering.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does burn.
It's poison.
Yeah, the desk is down.
We've all done it. We've all done it. All right,
All right,
folks.
Ian.
Is there still a donut?
You have
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
15 minutes. to donate,
Ladies and
folks.
gentlemen, if you have not given to the DVMPE in the past 23 hours and 45 minutes, please do so now, as I am about to pass out from exhaustion, and I will not know what happens after that, especially once I'm on stage.
I know, I'm worried about that. All right, Ian, let's do an accent.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Be French or something.
Oh.
You would like to do the French accent? Oui?
I mean, they're not part of the it's not part of the UK, but
Let's do the test.
Yeah, but the UK is.
Is it
they're still in it now.
the BBC?
What is that?
Sorry.
Here's having a pillow fight with herself.
Yeah, no,
I was trying. My pillow got caught in the cords that I have around me.
That's what they all say.
I don't know what you're implying.
That's what they all say.
Neither does he. He's tired.
I'm not. I'm good. Nah, honey, I'm good.
No, honey, I'm good.
That was my brother's favorite song for the longest time, and I don't know why.
I'm feeling a song coming on.
Oh, good. Let's hear a song.
I have the old acoustic here.
All right, Ian. Take us out with a song.
Take you out with a song. Oh, what do you want? Is there anything specific that people would like to hear?
Kiss
I
from a
knew
rose.
somebody would go there.
So you're not gonna put it?
Kiss from a rose.
Let's see. What could we do here? Oh, here's a nice one. Let me see if I can just grab a little kappa here. This will fill at least 5 minutes.
There you go. Take it away, Ian McKinnon.
Ian!
All right, here we go. Goodness only knows what this is going to sound like, but we'll give it a shot. Every time I close my eyes, it's you, and I know now who I am. Yeah, I know now. There's a place I go when I'm alone. Do anything I want, do anything I want to be, but it is as I see, and I cannot believe I'm falling. That's where I'm going. I've completely lost it. I'm still there. That's where I'm going. Where are you going? Hold it close, won't let this go. Dream catch me, yeah. Dream catch me when I fall, or else I won't come back at all. I've had far too much to drink at this point.
You said no.
I'm just gonna pack it in there because I'm done.
Ian McKay!
Okay, my turn to start singing.
No.
Yay, that was awesome.
If you'd done that 5 hours ago, that would have been fine.
I thought it was lovely. I liked it.
Yeah, it was very, very good.
Were you around? Were you listening to It's Amazing Grace and Gaelic?
Yeah, it was great.
Oh my
No,
God, it was beautiful.
but I know that Ian has recorded wonderful pieces of music, and I have some.
Yes,
So-
indeed.
I can have.
Wait, where do you have those?
I has those at home.
Okay, I thought you were talking
Can I
about
sing in a foreign language?
company events.
Yeah, let the kids sing.
You want to sing, Kat?
Yes, please. Hang on, I'm gonna
Here
sing
you
in
go,
Chinese.
here you go.
I took Chinese for 3 years, so section
Okay.
1. Hang on, I gotta get the video up. Just cause, yeah, Mandarin. I'm just turning the volume down so copyright. Hang on, hang on. What the frick? 什么？我的不能够体内好信仰，想要所有的人难道说我的眼睛闪耀我知道我在不停地我心底我要所有人为什么我眼里看到的只有我，这百生气的走我难逃永远，看才有这样快去追寻。去呐喊，这百生气的自我，让烦恼不再。这百生气的自我，让烦恼不再。You guys, his mics are still off.
Yay!
What was it?
Thank you.
Reflection from Mulan.
Okay.
Ah, that's familiar.
Because she kept saying that she like it's like Chinese, and I was like,
Yeah, she's
that,
singing in Chinese.
that song sounded really familiar.
Mandarin or Cantonese?
Why was it
That was
familiar?
I have to say that was
I don't know.
beautifully
It was in
sung.
that Disney
But
movie.
regardless-
I've heard the song though.
I'm sorry, what, Ian?
I was gonna say that was beautifully sung, but regardless of how beautifully it was sung, I was attacked by a rabbit today.
And we did learn one thing
Let's
today.
talk about that.
We didn't learn anything else, and that's that Zach Morris has an inverted penis.
And that bear is the what's the resistance?
Oh.
Are you packing up already? We're still got 8 minutes to go, and you're coiling cables.
Oh yeah, they're ready to pack it
Wrap it
up.
up. We've been here for 24 hours.
Pack it up, pack it in. Let
Let
me
me
Begin! Oh, yeah!
Oh my goodness.
I also learned that the best ninjas have wheelchairs.
Yes. Get out of my woods. Hashtag.
I also learned that Ian is my new best friend. And once he says
Yay.
we're gonna
And
see
Elizabeth is mine. I love you, I love you, I love you.
I'm so proud of us. Thank you, everybody who donated. Thank you to all of
We
the.
still have 7 minutes.
It's gonna take me a while.
7?
Thank you to everybody
No, come
from
on.
the DVM production empire who joined in.
Thank you to Shrimp Man.
Thank you to Schwip Man.
Schwip Man.
Senior Taco Man.
Viceroy.
Thanks to Vicky. Thank you to everybody in the UK.
Lost my job.
Penny.
Thank you
Chris,
to
Jason,
I've got to say thank you to Jason Radke, because Jason Radke DM'd the Tomb of Horrors game despite his despicably poor eyesight. He stayed up all freaking night to do this with us, and God bless him for that.
Thank you so much, Jason.
Thank you to Ian Shirt for staying on most of the Podathon.
Just not at the beginning and not at the end.
I am at the end.
That bit him.
Thank you to the Muppets.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Thank you to Whiskey
for allowing us to do this here.
Thanks to hot sauce.
Thanks to Bear and this hot sauce from hell.
Thanks to Deb for being the better Mullen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know what? Okay, I have to say at this point, despite the wonder that David Voxmullen is, I can tell you right now that he and all of this would be nothing if it weren't for the patience and good grace that is that woman.
Yes.
Deb.
Yeah, let's give
Our
snaps
Empress.
to Box
So
Mullen.
you know what? She doesn't get the credit she needs, but the Empress needs to hear some praise, and so I will happily be the one to give it to her.
Hey, Mrs. Voxmullen.
You are a legend, a trooper, and a star, and you know what? We love you, Deb.
Yay.
So if you are actually watching this and it's not live, first of all, I can't believe you watched this far.
Right.
But you have the opportunity to go all the way down. I believe it's all the way at the bottom of this page.
Right there.
Or actually, if we're doing this and you're watching this on YouTube, this makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
So get off of
YouTube.
YouTube
It doesn't
and
matter.
go to DVMPE.com and go to our website and go all the way down to the bottom and click on the donate button. And you can support our empire, hoping for another year. But yeah, we really appreciate all of you who donated. Thank you so much for your contributions to the art that we produce. And we are looking forward to a wonderful next 12 months. We're going to be at Wizard World Chicago doing our podcasting panel. Just you have a question, statement?
You said 12 months. We're not doing this again next week?
No.
You are. You are. The rest of us.
Sorry, no.
Do it again for my birthday.
But we'll probably do this again next year. So we will.
For Christmas, can we do it?
Can I have a title at some point?
Yes, you are.
You're Senior Taco Man.
No, you are now Lord Potish.
But you're also Senior Taco Man.
You're Lord Potish.
I like it.
And Senior Taco Man.
Got a title and a name.
Lord Potish.
What the heck does that make me? Seriously, I mean, I've been in this game for like 8 years.
Oh,
we know you're Aquaman.
You are the Nightcast.
Nightcast.
Ooh,
You're the head of the Night's Watch.
Yeah,
I
so
kinda like that.
K-N-I-G.
Oh, like Batman has like
Nightcast. Yeah. So Lord Potish and Nightcast.
I feel like Ian, you should draw that and be
yeah, right.
Superhero.
I would happily do that.
Good.
That could be interesting.
I do want to say a couple of words to everybody. Thank you for adopting me into this dysfunctional family. Thank you, Mr. Voxmullen, for basically taking me under your wing and teaching me the ways of podcasting. Because if it weren't for this community, I would not be interested in doing podcasts and radio as my career. Because I did not realize that I had a knack for it.
It was the Force.
Yes.
You've ruined the poor girl. I would like to
So-
thank Mr. Voxmullen.
So you're in for a career of
making me-
heartbreak, is what you're.
I would like to thank Mr.
I'd like to
Voxmullen for
thank
making me realize that I don't want podcasting as a career.
I want to thank everybody here.
Except David Voxmullen.
Except for David Voxmullen. Yes. Except for Mr. Voxmullen. For giving me the longest podcast I've ever had. This has been longer than all of my clips put together.
To be fair, you did go on a very long Netflix and spill with Gilmore Girls.
That's true.
That was a 3-hour fucking show.
It's true.
Oh, wow.
That was agonizing to have to talk about that show for that long.
I didn't hate it. You just hated it.
I love that show.
Show's great.
If our nerd therapy guys
Sorry,
are watching,
as much as someone hated another show.
We got 2 minutes.
All right, you got a
Gilmore
minute and a
Girls.
half. Gilmore Girls, go.
Okay,
That's
first
like
of all,
4 pages dialogue.
First of all, the 4 things, like the 4 seasons, not as good as like a full
The
actual
entire
season,
series.
but I understand it. The last season was not added into the Netflix part, which I also get because the Amy Sherman Palladino was upset about the whole entire thing, and
Who's
I get
that?
it. She is the writer, director, producer, person who came up
Glad
with
you
the show,
asked.
creator. Dan Palladino also helps write with her, and he's her husband. However, I think that they summed up Richard Gilmore dying very, very well,
Who's
and I
Richard
think
Gilmore?
that Emily Gilmore is an
Richie
amazing woman,
Rich's
and
dad.
it makes me
Richie
happy.
Rich's
I
dad.
also think that Lauren Graham and the whole idea of Lorelai Gilmore could not be in the whole show. And then
Where does
also,
Boy
I
Lannister
think that
factor into this equation?
I think that there's also Rory Gilmore, who is way too like back and forth about all of these things, and then also with Lorelai Gilmore being like the mom, like now they're
Which
trying to
one's
make it
resting
seem
bitch
like
Boy Gilmore,
Rory is going
they
to be
all
going
are.
through the path of Lorelai Gilmore. And
I'm
it doesn't
David
seem like
Vox-Mullen.
it.
I'm Nick Monteragis.
This is my crazy crew.
I'm Kara the Oracle.
See us online, DVM Production Empire, DVMPE.com.
Empire. He was like the
Donate.
first
Donate.
Done.
Yay!
Share.
We did it!
Oh my God.